on the left side of your chart, that's dominant energy. Everything you see on the right side of your chart, that is submissive energy. Everything on the top half of your chart, that's extroverted energy. And everything on the bottom half of your chart is introverted energy. So if I were to like diagnose your personality, then I would say like you are a submissive extrovert. You have some impulsive tendencies to be a submissive introvert, but you are primarily an extrovert.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
I love being at home, but I also like talking to people.
Yeah, what part of New York are you from?
Queens.
Like Queen. It's I because like I'm not like I pop into New York every so often. I'm just like, why? Okay, so Brooklyn and the Bronx are trying to kill each other. So Queens, what are you doing? Hi, Queens. You guys are chill.
Quietly reading in the corner, minding our business.
Yeah, because like Queens is always like, I mean, Queens is like loud, but they're not like they're not like fight me loud. They're like we make gossip. There'll be a fight like every blue moon, but like, we're just obnoxious. Whereas Brooklyn and the Bronx are genuinely trying to commit bloody murder, and I'm just like, why?
A girl made a TikTok and it was perfection. It was like them trying to fight, and then it was just like it was the trapped in the closet one where like R. Kelly's like arguing, and the pipe down was Queens, and I was just like, yes.
Yeah, I think Harlem was trying to hold back the Bronx or Brooklyn.
Yes. Harlem was trying to hold back the Bronx, and like Queens was just beautiful, like pipe down, and I'm like, yes, that's us.
I'm like, where's Manhattan? And isn't New York City like the Brooklyn and like the tip of Long Island, just like the beginning half, and then the rest of Long Island's like further down.
Queens is like the tip. Queens is in the tip of Long Island, and then it stretches out into Long Island.
And then Staten Island's just hanging out, not in.
We don't count them.
Are they a part of New York or are they Jersey?
No, they actually are a part of New York. We just don't like acting like they are.
Okay.
We just don't act like they are. They go red. We don't count y'all. We don't want y'all over there.
Oh, they vote Republican.
They go almost completely red. Like this time.
Oh, because see, like every time I watch like Jersey Shore, everyone's like, we don't talk about Staten Island. I'm like, what's wrong with Staten Island? Like, we don't talk about Staten Island. I'm just like, okay.
Very conservative. There is a black community, like a BIPOC community out there, but it's very small. It's very small. But majority of them are conservative white people, essentially.
Because I heard that, what did I hear? What the fuck did I heard that Harlem's becoming more Hispanic now?
I think Harlem's going more white, depending on where you are.
Okay.
I think it's going more white, depending on where you are. I worked in Harlem for about 6 months, and I was in West Harlem. It's predominantly white. I call that Neil Patrick Harris country now. That's what I call it, like West Harlem, because it's like that's where they all moved. That's where all of them moved out to like West Harlem. You ever watch Black Ink Crew? Okay, never mind. Where they filmed that show, I worked like 2 blocks from there. So that's just become a predominantly white area. But then again, so is most in New York. Brooklyn's not even the same anymore.
Yeah, I was just like when I realized I was going through visiting my house father because ballroom scene. I was like, la la la, am I a Flatbush? Am I at Flatbush? Hold on, Tanisha, where are you at, Tanisha? She's like, I'm from Flatbush. I'm like, oh, okay. You keep saying that. Okay, everyone seems pretty chill out here. All right. Okay. Yeah.
Brooklyn is nothing like it used to be. My mom is from Brooklyn. She will go on and on for hours about how terrible it is out there now. Because she's from Williamsburg, like the projects in Williamsburg. So watching that gentrification hurt her soul in a way I don't think anyone will ever understand except her and other black people from Williamsburg.
I believe it.
So it's just Brooklyn is so different. Like I'll never forget. I was on YouTube and I was looking for ways to decorate my apartment. So Refinery 29 has this like series where they show you like it's called My Sweet Digs. They show you like their apartment. So I'm like, okay, I'm looking at decor. There was a white lesbian couple living in Bed-Stuy. And I was just like, what? Excuse me? They lived in a 2-bedroom in the lower level of a townhouse in Bed-Stuy. I think there was also one in Brownsville. I think there was also like a white couple living in Brownsville too. And I was just like, that's where we are now.
Huh.
That's where we are now. All right. And it cost an arm and a leg to live out there.
Interesting. Okay. And it's even more funny because like in what was I talking about? What was I talking? Oh, in what was I talking about? Oh, I remember now. What was it? Oh, like I always tell people like I'm like y'all like I love living in this. When I say I'm from the south, like you're from the south, I'm like love. Trust me, I experience more racism up here than I do down there. Trust and believe. Like I never heard sorry I don't date black guys until I came
So
to New
you
York
got
City.
to New York.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it, like I never felt insecure about my ethnic group living in the like it's weird how I feel safer dating interracially in KKK country than I do in New York City.
I believe it. I believe it because this also comes down to voting when I was having this conversation. A lot of people move up here and they're the most diverse person from their little one horse town. So they think they're coming up here with these really open minded views, and then they get up here and it's just like you're not as open minded as you thought you were, and now here we are. When New York is now like full of weird racist white people.
Yeah, I always make the joke where I'm like guys, I was like guys, here's the thing. If you ever want to give New Yorkers a kryptonite, oh my god, a driver's license, they lose all their powers. All their powers just vanish. Or like I always, for example, I was like, hey, there is a 13th zodiac sign, but it's not Ofika Latte. It's called I'm from New York.
Yes, yes, that's it.
Yeah, or it'll be like oh like I only had beef one time with someone from New York, and it was when she left New York, and she realized that her same antics weren't being tolerated in Virginia, and she's like, "What?" I'm like Serena, this is not Queens. This is New York, Serena. But I mean this is Virginia, Serena. We don't tolerate you. You can't start screaming in the middle of the Walmart.
The middle of
Like
yeah.
we don't tolerate that, Serena. Like you will get thrown
Right.
out for disturbing the peace because we mind our business.
Right. It's not here where we just learn to ignore you.
Literally, literally. And here's the thing: if you start hollering, we all will stare at you, and you will feel uncomfortable. Like it doesn't matter if you're from here or not. We will stop and we will stare, and we'll be like, "Get out." It's a very unpleasant experience. But she learned the hard way. She learned the hard way, and I felt bad because she didn't need to do it that way, but she tried. You know, but well, I'm looking at your chart. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Do you have an interception? 1, 2. Okay, no, you don't. You almost do. It looks like you do, but you don't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sure. Okay. Okay. So altogether, you do you know how the house system works?
Kind
That's
of, sort of.
right. Can you stop biting me, cat? I swear. I love you, but damn. So you're rising. So the houses all represent just different areas of your life, broken up into 12 categories. So it's pretty easy to. I swear that's an interception. Okay, no, it's not. No. Oh, excuse me. Now, your rising sign. Your rising sign, that is the house of self, the house of identity. It's how you view the world and how the world views you. And it represents the first, like, 10 to 15 years of your life. All right? And it is in Pisces. Pisces is the sign of dreams, illusions, spirituality. It's the sign of spiritual and emotional understanding and spiritual emotional healing. So this
Question.
Yes.
First house and an ascendant, are they the same thing?
Yes.
I thought it was Aquarius.
Are you looking at were you looking at whole houses or are you looking at Placidus?
I was looking at whole houses.
See, I read the Placidus system.
Oh, okay. Ooh, this is gonna be fun.
Yeah, because the whole house is hold on, let me make sure I typed in your birth time correct. Let me just make sure.
This ma'am that said to look at whole houses has been canceled.
Oh wait, hold on. Let me. 1 second. Oh, that is a typo on my part. My bad. Let me. And also, like, it's I have a slight hunch about the Marin situation. A slight hunch.
I agree with what you said in your TikTok. I don't know if anyone else has said that.
Yeah, because I saw more white people canceling her, and I'm just like, but who did she steal from? But who did she like? I saw.
Not just that. What annoyed me was the way everyone went about it after it happened.
Yeah.
Everyone was just like, I knew it. I told you. And I'm just like, can we approach what she did? Can we approach what she did and discuss it? Because after that, I ran into multiple other situations on TikTok with a white creator stealing from a black creator.
Mm,
Like
mm.
after that one happened, I ran into, I don't know if you know J.K. It's Cole. He's another astrology kind of person, and he does ranking the zodiac signs based on if they
The
can do
white
this,
dude?
this, and this.
Is he white? You said he's
Yes.
black. Okay. Oh wait,
Yes.
glasses. Kind of has a small beard right here.
Yes.
Okay, I
He got
saw
caught
that.
stealing from somebody.
I saw that, and I was really confused because it's like you can't. It's because it's like how do you like it's astrology? How do you steal astrology? That's
Well, she
my thing.
wasn't doing it as astrology.
Wait,
She was,
the baked girl, the baked girl.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, I saw that, and I was like, I'm very confused because like honestly, because the thing is like who would be the first to win in a fight? That meme for astrology has been done before. Like I've seen people do that
Mm-hmm.
exact meme, but it's just like okay, let me resend you this new chart because I messed up with the old one. Okay, like I've seen people make that exact meme. So whenever people ask like, "Stevie, how do you feel about this?" I'm just like, I mean, before astrology, TikTok had actual astrologers. It was just these memes, like who would win in a fight, who
Yes.
would win in a zombie apocalypse. So like for me, it was hard for me to really like jump on that and be like, yeah, because I'm like I've seen this meme before in several
It
different
was
forms.
the only reason I understood what she was saying was she took it and put them side by side, and it was
Yeah,
literally two. He didn't even change the wording. He didn't even change the
yeah.
wording. It was literally who they could fight, who what if they could win a fight with the Teletubbies, and it was just word for word, like verbatim, what she said, and that just kept happening. I ran into another one this week, but I ran into another one this morning. I mean, that one is a little more iffy. It's a girl. There, it's a girl. Just it's a white girl and a black girl discussing what happened with Justin Timberlake, and all his other situations because people are like, this runs a lot deeper than you seem to think it does. Like apparently he went on a date with Jessica Simpson only to win a bet with Ryan Gosling. And basically the black girl saying that the white girl's stealing the content, but this is where it gets a little more muddled because it's like this is pop culture now. We're just discussing pop culture. These things can be found on the internet. So now it gets a little more iffy.
Yeah. Also, you do have an interception. Now that I wait.
Oh, I do.
Yep. Hold on. Let
Oh, I
me.
just got the other. I think I just got the other one.
Yep. Yep, you do. You have a Gemini
Yep, there we
Sagittarius.
go.
An overabundance of Gemini and Sagittarius. And then what's been cut off? Libra and Aries. No, that makes complete sense. Like even with the Marin, like Marin's been lawyering up, and which is not. I mean, like I highly encourage it because, like honestly, like when I saw that, like how do I say? I can find one person that she stole from. That person is specifically a financial astrologer, so I get that. But that's a white lady. The black astrologer she stole from, I still can't find him. I still can't find him. I don't know who she. I'm trying to find. No one has been able to tag me in any of them.
It was Astrodim. It was Astrodim, and she had. I can see if I can find a thread.
Yes, please. I'm
Um,
glad someone can show them because I've been
yeah, I
searching.
saw it. It was. I found the thread on Twitter. Because that's where it actually it didn't pop off on TikTok. It popped off on Twitter. That was
Mm-hmm.
what was the weird thing. But she stole from Astrodim. What she did was she went into somebody tagged Marin because on TikTok nothing matters unless you ask a white creator if this is true or not. Some creator was like, Marin, how do you feel about this? And Marin basically denounced her and was like, no, this isn't true. And then went and took the same information and posted it in her video later. What she told the other black girl was wrong. She took and then
Mm-hmm.
posted.
Okay. I see. That makes sense. You know?
I have to find the Twitter thread. It's a long Twitter thread. Oof.
No, I
It
know.
was
That's why I gave up because
long.
I was trying to read it, and I'm just like, I don't know what anyone's talking about anymore.
There's a million of this because there's a lot of them, and then some things have been disproven. Supposedly, like there was one rumor going around that her father owned property and was
Why does
using
that
all
matter?
and I don't know that one turned out to be a lie apparently, but that it went around that her father owned property in New York, and he really only sees people of color as parasites that are in his way of building high rises.
What the
That one she said
hell?
wasn't true. Yeah, that one she said wasn't true. That one apparently wasn't true. But there were other situations with receipts, like her bothering a specific kind of yoga teacher, about the cow being sacred, but the cow having its milk stolen, and her harassing this person while they were teaching her.
I'm still listening, by the way. I'm just grabbing something.
Yeah. No, you're okay. But yeah, I also have ADHD, so I have a tendency to do the same thing.
Yeah. Like the veganism, I can believe the vegans' comments, because when I first started doing readings, I had a client say he was getting like a tarot, because this is back when Miriam was just doing tarot readings. Like this is before she blew up. He was like, yeah, I was gonna get a reading for her, but then she called me a horrible person for eating meat. I was like, see, that's the vegan thing. So I can believe the vegan stuff because I know that she's that kind of vegan. But everything else, I'm just like.
Then there's another one. This one I never found receipts of. It was her, because she's been pushing Dogecoin. It's her in some sort of a financial group chat saying that she actually doesn't see validity in Dogecoin, but she's pushing it on her account. Never found receipts for that one. There were never any receipts for that.
I know. I'll play this. This is a Virgo thing. No, a marketing thing. Let me rephrase a marketing thing. I could not give two shits about something and still advertise it. I don't know jack shit about stock, but I could still give you I could still advise you on financial astrology, even though I don't know jack about the stock market. And when people don't realize about that working in marketing and working as an influencer, like you will be asked to cover products that you don't know jack shit about. And I think she did have a sponsored video from a financial group or whatever. I saw it was thing on Twitter, and it was just like, yeah, I saw it, I got it, I understood it to some extent. I'm just like, yeah, it's just business. It's just a business thing. The one critique I will give Maren person to person is just like her wording of stuff was horrible. I understood it because I'm an astrologer, so I understood what she's trying to say. Everybody else doesn't know what she's saying. Like someone said she was being transphobic towards Aquarius non-binaries, and I was like, wait. Because like I'm like, no, like when she made the meme, I'm just like, see, I would make that same joke though. Like I would make I would be like Aquarius, probably either non-binary or agender or gender fluid, probably a heavy social activist, because Aquarius is the rebel. When someone's non-binary or agender, they are rejecting the gender binary. They are rejecting societal norms, So it's just like, I was like, what? Did you just call her space racist?
Space racist?
I'm like, not the space racism.
Space racist.
Ay. It was a lot. Link in bio for person who just asked me. The link for my readings is in the bio. But excuse me. But like it was a lot. But you have the corrected chart up there now, right?
Yeah, I have it up now.
Okay. So what's been cut off? Aries and... So for you, what's actually been cut off is Aries and Libra energy have been cut off. All right? So Aries and Libra represent... Aries is like consciousness, and Libra is like... Aries is consciousness and self, and Libra is relationships and other. All right? So whenever I see these energies cut off, I'm like, okay, there was a point in time during your childhood where it's like you really started to form a sense of self, but then like something happened that kind of discouraged you from doing whatever it was that made you feel that sense of self. And then whether it was either school, or it was bullying, or it was constantly moving, or it was like abusive parents, like something discouraged you from being around that sense of self. So then as you got older, it became kind of hard for you to really develop that sense of purpose, because what you originally were gravitating towards, you were discouraged away from. All right, so it's like you know who you are, you know where you're going in life, you just don't have a sense of purpose. You don't know why you're doing any of it.
Got it. Yeah. That sounds about right.
Yeah, it's not the who or the where, it's the why.
Yes. Yeah. No, that's accurate.
Yeah.
Absolutely accurate.
Because like you're
I got bullied, so there's a lot of things that I pulled away from. Like one of them being anime, and I found my way back to it as an adult.
What?
Oh
Nani?
my gosh, yes. I was bullied for watching anime. It's funny because I didn't watch anything like wild. I was watching, at that age, I watched Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball Z.
Whores.
Those are the two that I watched.
Whores, how dare they? Everyone watches those. Even the people who aren't anime heads watch that.
The problem was the weird kids who would run like Naruto characters through the halls. I got looped in with them even though I didn't. And it was just like... Yeah,
that's
was just
so
like, I was
weird.
A weirdo for that.
Because like in my school, we knew that like when you rate Naruto into, we knew that was a joke. We knew that was no one took that seriously.
At my school, they did. It was cool. There were other things that were several problematic in my school on top of that, but that I pulled away from anime for a long time because of that one. But I've gotten back into it as an adult, and it's been nice. I've gotten back into it as an adult, and because it's something that I really did enjoy as a kid. Like, I don't know if you watched Sailor Moon, but
I wasn't allowed.
I have the moon stick tattooed on me
Moon
from Sailor
Scepter.
Moon.
Yeah.
That is how much of a Sailor Moon stan I was as a kid and am now. So it's just
I believe it.
That pulled away.
No, I started off, I got into Asian movies. It started off with Godzilla, and then it gets like, Godzilla, my dude, that's forever my dude. And then Sailor Moon, and then Naruto.
I never watched Naruto. The way the kids ran.
Nani?
I have refused.
My friend, Naruto was my gateway into anime, and let me tell you, no regrets. Zero regrets. That show got me through so much shit. I will say they be killing some of my favorite characters off, and I don't like it. But I'm telling you, it is worth the watch. I think the reason why, because it looked like it's one of the only things from the show that you can do in real life.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, you can do the hand signs. This is the Byakugan hand sign.
So I teach, and my kids one day were playing like Naruto. It was my fifth graders. He did one of the hand signs, but I never watched it, but I knew it was wrong. I was like, Christian, what was that? He felt like, no, it wasn't. It was like, I was just like, that's not right.
Oh no!
I know that much.
No, when I was young, I would literally watch them. Like, I would pause, replay, and like watch them in slow motion. The only one I know is the Byakugan. It's just like it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, never mind. That's Chidori. Never mind. That's Chidori. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Chidori. That's all I know.
I am impressed because I could never.
That's the only one I know.
But funny enough, teaching is what got me also back into anime. It was my kids telling me to watch certain things. Like, some of them, we were talking about Sailor Moon, and we were talking about how anime grew. Mm-hmm. And one of the kids was telling me, like, they used to just go outside in sunglasses and no one would know who they are. And I was like, oh, that's a good point. And then I told them, I'm like, okay, so what do you want me to watch? Like, I just gave them the free-for-all one day. I was like, well, what should I watch? And they put me onto My Hero Academia, and then that just set me off.
You should watch Hellgirl next. You should watch Hellgirl next.
I don't know that one.
Yeah, it's a hidden gem. That quickly became like Hellgirl. Like, there's Naruto and there's Hellgirl. My top two. I will forever co-sign Hellgirl. All right, she is this, I guess, vengeful ghost type of thing, and all she does is, like, if someone's going through some shit, she'll bring you like a little doll, and she's like, okay, whoever's hurting you, pull the string, and I will take them to hell immediately. The only catch is you have to go to hell too, but not till you die. You know, and she only does it for people who are going through like really, really bad situations. Like, for example, a situation where, like, this girl, there are these twins in the circus. One twin was the performer, the other twin was like the more like smile and wave. The twin that was smile and wave hated the fact that her sister was more talented than her, so she had the ringmaster like beat her sister up and abuse her. All right. So when Hellgirl gave the sister the doll, and the main character tries to like stop her from pulling the string, she pulls the string, and like they thought the ringmaster was about to vanish because he was the one beating her up, and the ringmaster didn't vanish, and they were like, "What happened? Did it work?" And then they realized that the twin was gone.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah,
I'm going to look at
it's a really good show. She has this badass monologue when she's about to like take someone off, and she's just like, what does she says? Something, pitiful soul lost in the darkness, waning in your sin. Perhaps it's time to die. And then she just snatches you, and I love it.
That sounds amazing. Okay, that's on the list.
Oh, pitiful shadow, lost in the darkness, waning in your mournful sin. Something. I used to have her monologue on memory. That was my girl right there, and she was just. And the English dub isn't bad. I like the English dub is a lot. I think you will recognize you'll recognize the voice actors from the English dub. I'll say the English dub. I like the English dub. All right. But also, I was a K-pop fan as well. K-pop pulled me out of the anime world. The anime fans would pick on me for liking K-pop. Excuse me. Just because my waifu is a real person and yours is not, does not mean you can come for me.
Right, absolutely not. See, I never got into K-pop.
K-pop. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. All right, watching them online and then meeting them in person because I've been to New York for KCON. It's a whole different experience because you're just like you're real. You're touching my hand. You're touching my hand.
One of my best friends is a big K-pop stan, and what I know because of her. And she went to KCON and met, I think his name was Eric something or
Eric
something.
Nam.
Like,
Eric Nam.
yes, there we go. Yes, she met him, and it was like an out of body experience
She
for
went the
her.
year that I went then because I remember that year that Eric Nam went.
Hold on 1 second. I'm sorry. Someone rang my bell, and I do not know why.
You can ring my bell. Ring my bell.
Sorry about that. It was just my shopping addiction come to a head.
Oh, no, you're fine. You're fine.
But yeah, she's a big K-pop person.
What's her name?
I know because of her. Huh?
What's her name?
Allison with a Y.
Because us K-pop, we be knowing each other like Allison with a Y.
Yeah, Allison with a Y. She spells it with a Y. You might know her. You might have met her. She's the most beautiful girl ever, but
Is she black?
So timid. Say it again?
Is she black?
No, she's white.
Allison with a Y. Hold on. Do I am my friends? All my K-pop fan friends are on Facebook. Like, do I know this?
You might. She's not a big. Okay, so here's the thing with Allison. She's not big on talking to people.
Okay. Do you know her last name?
Her last name?
Mm-hmm.
Lamson. Lamson.
Because I'm like, we may have mutuals if she's a K-pop fan. Allison.
She's a huge K-pop fan.
At Hunter's College. No, that's not. Rowetta? Yeah, that's a. Yeah, we have mutuals. We have one mutual. Yeah, I just found it. Yeah, we have one mutual.
She's one of my best friends. She put me on to GOT7.
Oh,
She put me on to GOT7.
Oh, wait! She knows Keisha. Okay, yeah. Yeah, because Keisha was that one Japanese friend that everyone in the K-pop scene knows in New York.
Really? I didn't know the world was that. I didn't know the K-pop world was that small.
It's not that it's small; it's huge. It's like when you become mutuals with somebody in one scene, they may know somebody in the LA scene, in the Oregon scene, in the Houston scene, in the Miami scene. So it's like you will find a mutual somewhere. All right.
That is hysterical.
Yeah, like the minute I saw Keisha, I'm like, she from with Keisha? Yeah, I know who Keisha is.
The few things I know because of her.
You have a good friend, good friend. I will say this, stan girl groups just as much as you stan the boy groups because people the female fans be doing them girl groups dirty. I'm like, excuse me, I will not tolerate this internalized misogyny. I will not tolerate it.
So I knew a K-pop group before I knew a K-pop group. It was Wonder Girl.
That's my favorite group!
Them off on Nickelodeon.
Yes! That is my favorite group! That is my favorite.
They tried to pop them off on Nickelodeon for like that hot second, and I ended up falling in love with a lot of their stuff. Like I learned the dance from, oh my god.
Like Money?
Like this?
Oh, like this? You have taste. You have taste. That is that is the one K-pop group that I will worship. All right, the K-Con that your friend was at. There's a group called Day 6. They're a band, same label as Wonder Girls.
She's mentioned them.
Yeah, they were like, guys, we're gonna sing a girl group song, and I'm just like, I'm in the pit, and I'm like, whatever. Like, we're gonna sing a girl band song. I'm like, whatever, because I'm not thinking they're gonna play Wonder Girls, because I'm assuming that it's not gonna happen. They start singing Nobody. I proceed to just fall out sobbing. I'm sobbing because I was like, oh my god. And then like by the time BTS came on, because BTS was right after, I'm just like, huh? Jimin, when'd you get here? Huh? Because I was too busy crying. Because
I didn't realize that they were considered a K-pop group. I didn't know that at the time.
Because the DJ is mine.
It's mine. Yes. So there's an Afrojack remix to that I choreographed to when I was working for a dance studio. It was my Jumps and Turns Clinic song. It got so annoying by the time season was over. But I choreographed to that. Like I didn't realize they counted as K-pop. And then I was on Tumblr, and then there was it. They go by another name, like SNS something.
That's a separate group. Separate group. That's Girls' Generation.
Oh,
SNSD is the acronym for because their Korean name is Soyeoshide. So SNSD is the Korean acronym.
okay. But
Yeah.
either way, I went on Tumblr and I was like, oh, they count? They're K-pop? What? I didn't realize that that's what they counted as. But Nickelodeon, Nick Cannon tried with them. He really did
And he
try
was
with
doing a
them.
fair job because I was in Virginia hearing advertisements for their concerts in DC, and I wanted to go so bad, but my parents wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
let me.
He tried with them so hard. They had that movie.
They were doing
I
fine. The movie was horrible, but the soundtrack was amazing.
it was bad.
The movie was
But he
horrible.
tried. But it was part of the problem was we also tried to push Schoolgirls at the same time. No one ever remembers Schoolgirl.
Schoolgirls has like one. It's really best. So I used to work for the Korean embassy, and like we were doing me and my group, my the group I was in charge of is it's called For Anyone because to anyone for anyone, and like our intro song was the la da da la da da la la, and then we transitioned into exactly, and then we transitioned into the DJ is mine, and then Like Money. So I was like, guys, if we can perform these Wonder Girls songs at least once, I will never ask you to perform this again because let me have this moment, and I will be content with that. And we did it, and I was fine. I was fine.
But yeah, I just that was my earliest interaction with K-pop, and I
See,
didn't
you
realize
you
it.
have taste. You have see, I like you now. See, we have to be friends now. You mentioned my favorite group. You are already God to me. All right. Taste. We have taste. Taste has entered the chat. Alrighty. But anyway, let's talk about your self sabotage. So your rising sign is it? It's the house of self, the house of identity. It's how you view the world, how the world views you, and it's an Aquarius. Aquarius is the sign of rebellion, the sign of reform, the sign of innovation. It's the sign of humanitarianism, individuality, and societal obligations. A very a weirdo as a child. You know, like it's not like not in a bad way, just more like you were like as you said earlier, you were the odd one out all the time. And even though you were the odd one out, you still tried to do what was best for your family, your friends. You still tried to help people because Aquarius is a very like let me help you type of sign. All right, and with Aquarius energy, it's very much so on the you're in the first house. I don't know if you had issues with. Are you the oldest sibling or are you only child?
That's a complicated question.
Let me rephrase. Are full-bloodedness? Are you the only child, or like if?
Full-blooded, yes, I'm the only child.
Okay.
That was the perfect way of asking that question. Yes.
Yes. It's like, are you the only full-blooded child? Lord, but like, oh, excuse me. So like in regards to first child, because the first house is like how you come off. So obviously there's a point in time in your life where you were very much so off by yourself in your own little world, minding your p's and q's, and then every so often you would come back into the collective. And one of the things about Aquarius that I've noticed is that like they will often like sometimes the way they will come into a group is they'll find the bad apple and then they'll exploit the bad apple and call out all the bad shit they do and then like replace themselves.
Do that as an adult. Wow. Oh, okay, yeah, that's do that. All right.
So if you ever wonder why drama follows you, it's partially your own fault, you know?
Yeah. Now that you've mentioned it that way, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like
That's funny. That is a tendency. I've never thought of it that way, but it is something that does tend to happen when I do find the bad apple. Like I'll normally just come into a friend group or come into something pretty neutral, but then once I do find the bad apple, it's like get out, exit, goodbye.
yeah. So if you ever wonder why there's so much drama in your life, it's your own fault. So continuing
It
on.
is.
So your sun sign is in Libra. Libra is the sign of mediation, the sign of balance, the sign of relationships, hope or how do I say? You know you have a habitual flirtation problem, right?
Okay, so I get told that a lot, but I don't see it.
That's the thing. Habitual flirtation is flirting without realizing it.
Yeah, no one's been able to ever point out to me when I'm doing it, I guess, for me to know that it's happening, if that makes sense. Like, people say it to me, and I'm just like, they're like, you're really naturally charming, you're this, you're that, you're the third. And I'm just like, okay, when has this ever happened? Because I feel like
You
I'm
just
the
did
weirdest
it.
person ever. Huh?
You just did it.
When?
The entire first few minutes, first couple minutes we were talking. You just did it the entire time. Right there.
Oh, okay. Okay, now that makes more sense. Okay, now that makes a lot more sense. So then, yes, I now do know.
Yeah,
I
because
have.
for example, some people who aren't used to being talked to a certain way will automatically assume that you're flirting. You know, like for example, like and a lot of Libras have issue. Libra is called is a transgender sign, so a lot of people who have Libra placements have like, especially women, have a hard. You go through a phase of life where you have a hard time getting along with other women.
No, I don't.
No, there's
At
a
least I don't think
phase.
I
No,
do.
no, there's a phase of life where there's a hard time.
Oh, I get what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, like I'm not saying overall because obviously they can grow out of it. They can grow out of it, but like in like I don't. There may have been a point in like elementary school or high school where you had more guy friends than you had girlfriends, or like
Elementary school.
elementary school.
Elementary school. I grew up around a lot of boys. I was the first. I'm the first girl born on both sides of my family.
Mm-hmm.
So all my cousins are boys. I was surrounded by boys, and I didn't have a fear of talking to boys. So a lot of girls were rude to me because of it, but also just in general, like it was this weird thing. Like apparently, my mom told me like a few weeks ago, it was talks with teachers constantly about like why is she so comfortable talking to boys, and then she's just like she's surrounded by men. Like all of her cousins are boys, and then their friends are boys, and she's surrounded by boys. So I'm not afraid of talking to them. And then it was just, but then that also made me an outcast because girls didn't understand it. One, two, didn't care for it because when I had a crush on a boy, I would tell him. There was this lack of understanding from girls on that end. Like, you're not supposed to be out here telling these boys you like them. I'm like, how boy know I like him if me no tell?
Exactly.
How boy know? How boy know?
I'll say like men dumb. Men not know you like till you say. Men dumb.
Okay, so me tell boy.
Like I'm a guy, I know. Like if you don't tell me you like me, I will not assume you like me.
Right, boy laugh in my face, but now boy no. Boy laugh in face, but now boy no. So it's just girls didn't understand that on me either, and then I found out years later, a lot of boys had crushes on me,
They didn't tell
and
you?
girls were like tight about it. Yes, so it was also just looking back and thinking about certain situations. Like there was one where my friend's crush like fake proposed to me with a ring pop. We had like a tense. It was a joke. Like I never looked at him that way. So to me, it was like free ring pop. So, like we had a really tense few years after that. And my mom brought it up because I guess I repressed the memory. My mom brings it up, and she's just like, "Who is that boy that proposed to you during recess?" I'm like, "You mean Eddie?" And then I was like, "Oh, that's why she didn't like me." Now that makes sense. But I just was more comfortable. For a long time, I was more comfortable around boys, especially because I was watching. I was younger at the younger age. I was still watching Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
So they are the ones I could talk to. They were the ones I could talk to about it because the girls were just like, "Ew, what is that? What are you doing?" No.
Exactly.
So
Like what's the issue? Also, question, why do you disassociate from your emotions so much?
I don't like them.
Why?
I don't like them. It depends on which Well,
All of them.
anger, I am always questioning whether or not it's valid.
Mm-hmm.
Like my anger, I'm always questioning if it's valid or not. So when I get angry, it's like, do I have a right to be angry right now?
So
Let's
you
sit down
talk.
and think
So you
about
talk. So
it.
yeah, because I say air signs have to talk their emotions out. Let them talk it out. Please let them talk. Let them. You don't even have to listen necessarily be listening. You just have to be like in the room as they're talking
Boom.
about.
Yeah. As for sadness, I just don't like being. Not that's not the right way to say it. I don't like how I look when I cry. So I will avoid crying or showing any kind of sadness outside because it might
Mm-hmm.
lead to me ugly crying, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't want it.
So
So
why do you
I'll
not
just
like
like,
being disliked?
why do I not like being disliked?
Yeah. Like why do you care so much about whether or not people like you or not?
Oh, I knew you were gonna ask me this one too. I knew you were gonna ask me this one. So it's not so much that I don't like being disliked, so much as I feel like there should be a valid reason for you disliking me.
So why do you not like being disliked?
Like, okay, so like if you have a valid reason for like there's a lot of people who have valid reasons for disliking me, right? Like I'm not everyone's cup of tea.
Mm-hmm.
I'm loud. I try not to care what other people think. Like, I try to be me in most aspects, and I'm very blunt as well. So if I have something to say to you,
Yeah.
I've
Plus,
always been the
plus you
person.
bottle up your emotions all the time and hide them from people due to your own fear of failure. But
Yes, drag me, drag me. But there are people who have legitimately just met me and been like, I don't like her, and it's just like, you haven't been around me to not like me. You have not been around me to not like me, so it doesn't make sense to me, and that's where I start to have the problem. Because I've run into that with people a lot, where they're just like, nah, I just don't like you, and I'm just like, okay, but why? Why? You don't know me. You haven't spent time around me. What reason do you have for disliking me?
So why do you hate yourself?
Because the world hates me.
Do they?
Black. Okay, at least this is how I've been feeling recently as a black woman. I just feel like
Minus the black woman part, because we already know how that works. We already know how that works. But let's like minus the black. We already know, we don't even have to question that.
Me and of myself, I'm always questioning whether or not I'm good enough to be doing things. Like, my biggest fear is like, so I have my master's degree. My biggest fear is someone will come and just take it. Just take it.
You afraid master gonna come take your master?
Yes. Yes. Biggest fear ever. I don't know. And it's not a rational fear by any means. It's not a rational fear. But I just don't feel like I did enough work to get to where I am right now.
What work is that?
Well, just in general. So I work, so my degrees are in dance education. I'm a dance teacher.
Same.
So, and it's just like, I get in front of my kids and I'm just like, do you actually know enough to be doing this? Which obviously I do, because I do it every day and I do it well. But it's just like, do you know what you're doing? Did you do enough to get here? And one of my best friends is currently getting her degree in the same thing that I got mine in. And she just seems to be doing a lot more. And I'm like, did I not do enough? Like, she's sitting on boards and committees. She's doing all this other stuff. And I'm just like, did I not do enough? Like, I don't feel like I did enough. I don't feel like I'm good enough to be sitting where I'm sitting. So it leads to self-hatred on that end.
But you're not a failure, though.
I feel like I am.
How?
I know I'm not. I just feel like I am. Well, part of me feels like, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Is this what I'm meant to be doing? Because there are other things I want to do with my life. I am doing it. That's a good point. You got me. That is a very good point. I am doing it.
How long have you been doing it?
I've been teaching dance since I was 18. I got my degrees when I was 23.
And you're still questioning yourself?
Say it again?
And you're still questioning yourself?
Yes. Yes, every day. Every single day.
For what reason? Did your mom pick you apart?
No, but my mom had a really high standard set for me.
So she picked you apart?
I wouldn't call it picking.
When I say high standard, it's when someone says high standard, it's just like, okay, anything that's below that gets picked at because it's below the standard.
Then yeah, okay, yeah, if you were like that, then yeah. Definitely. Yeah. So my mom's big thing was I can never be less educated than her, which I am now equally as educated.
Did she just stop learning?
Say it again?
Did she just stop learning or something?
No. She has, so her whole thing was she has 3 degrees and she expected me to also at least have 3. Okay. That was the expectation. So, and I did end up getting 3. I have my associates, my bachelor's, my master's. So I am now just as educated as she is. So I feel like that standard is just, I felt like I had to hit that standard. But then I questioned like the work that got me to this point, and it's just like, was it enough? And then I want to go for my doctorate, and I'm sitting questioning myself for the same reason. It's like, are you actually good enough to go for your doctorate?
Isn't the whole point to go get of getting your doctorate, studying and getting the training, so that we can get it and you can say you are good enough?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because I mean, that's not about being good enough. The whole point, it's a school. You're learning to get your doctorate.
You're right.
Yeah. Because I mean, like, good enough that's the whole point of school, to learn how to be good
enough. How to be good enough. Yeah, that's a good point.
Doctorate in what?
Say again?
Doctorate in what?
Same thing, dance education. So my big thing is I want to change what dance education looks like, at least in New York State. So right now there's a big discussion about the Eurocentrism in dance education. Like the basis is 9 times out of 10 ballet.
You right. And I'm flat footed, so ballet is a no for me.
I'm also flat footed, but I love ballet. Don't
What type
everybody
of
think
flat
for this?
footed? Is it rigid or like fallen arches?
Fallen arches.
See, mine is rigid. Like I was born and the bone said nope. Yeah, I see people with arches. I'm just like, how do you walk?
Right.
It's like, why is there a piece of your foot missing?
So that piece of your foot just never touches the floor?
Yeah, because mine always touches the floor. So I'm just like, how do you walk with an arch? Like, do you walk barefoot? Like, I hate you. I hate wearing shoes.
Right. But that Eurocentrism, there's so many other valid forms of dance. Whether it be African dance, I'm also a big pusher of, funny because you were talking about houses. I am so intrigued by voguing. It's something I whack, but it's something I'm just very intrigued.
See, whacking is evil. What the hell? What the absolute hell? What is this? What the hell?
I haven't done it in a few years, but it's just I love whacking, but even though you may hit yourself in the face.
Exactly. I've clocked myself in the face so many times.
But I just feel like kids should have that chance to be introduced to all these different styles to find out what it is that they might enjoy, what they might love, what they might want to be a part of. And the fact that we always open it with Eurocentrism is a problem. Mm-hmm. So my goal at the end of the day is to sit down and have us all sit down and like look at this for what it is. It's just like, why are we not giving African dance the same time that we're giving ballet? Why are we not discussing that jazz is actually a black form? Why are we not discussing that? Why are we teaching like 3-step turns and stuff, but jazz is a black form of dance? Why are we not discussing tap as a black form of dance? Why are we only discussing what we consider to be black forms for Black History Month? Like that's what I want. That's what I want to change the way we're discussing it. And the things I learned in college, like about what a lot of these white choreographers did to get to where they are and how it's not cute. So it's just, I want to change that.
Yeah. Like how, like for example, whenever I see, there's a huge difference between someone who vogues like freestyle, like in the freestyle world versus someone who's professionally trained and goes to voguing. And I'm just like, interesting. I see how you turned there. Interesting. like for example, I need an example. Like Leon. I don't think Leon does Leonie have any professional training?
I don't think so. Funny enough, I don't know if he's a friend anymore. Someone I know studied under her. Mm-hmm. So he's a thoroughly trained dancer. So I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying 100%. And I have other friends. He's not a friend. He's my best friend's ex. He dances for House of LaBeija.
What's his name?
Nathaniel.
He might have a different name because you know how they had different names in the Vogue. So I was like,
if you ever stumble across the house in any kind of an event, he has dreads.
That does not help. They all have that does not help.
Sorry.
Like no, if he goes by Nathaniel LaBeija, then okay, I can find him because there's Honey LaBeija, but I know Honey's not his real name. Like Honey's a Balenciaga now. Never mind, Honey's a Balenciaga.
That's what I was gonna say. Aren't they Honey Balenciaga now?
Yeah, Honey's a Balenciaga now.
But it's the same thing. It's just I find it very intriguing. It's also it's the same thing I find intriguing about people who go from ballet to any form of hip hop. I find that to be so interesting.
Yeah, I'm just like I watch for example, if you do ballet and you go into New Wave Vogue, okay, because New Wave is more it's more suited for you. The pointed legs, the tie yourself in a knot type shit. It's more for acrobatics and more not acrobatics, but the more stretchy stuff. But then they get to Vogue Femme and I'm just interesting. No, it depends. Depends. Like, for example, if it's like Inksy, I don't know if Inksy, because Inksy was a popper. And then but then when you add popping and voguing, I'm just like, that is the same person. I'm like, that is the same person, you
The
know?
pictures are the same. There is no difference.
Yeah, like she mixed the two, and I'm just like, I see what she did there. Like moonwalking on your knees. What the? You moonwalking on your knees? Like she was moonwalking on her knees. I'm just like, I have no complaints. Good.
But you see, we can't have these are things I feel like kids should have the option to discuss. I feel like kids should be involved in these conversations.
So why do you think you're a failure then?
Because do I have it to be able to get to where I want to go with all of this?
You have the will and the skill set, so why question it?
That is a fair point.
See how I brought that full circle? Look at me bringing shit.
You're absolutely correct. But I just...
Bring it around like a ranjete, alright?
You did. But I just always questioned myself. It's just something I always do.
Well, part of the issue is, A, you're in New York. All right, you are one of many. All right, and one of the biggest downsides, and I noticed it because I was doing K-pop event stuff outside of New York. Oh, and I did a tour actually, and I was a dancer from Korea, and I brought them to New York. It was like September of 2019. So if you see any posters for some dude named Wu-Tae in New York, that was me. All right, that was me. I brought him. You know, but how do I say? When you are in places where this is like, it's one reason I say dance teachers are always more valued in rural areas, because it's like, A, you are setting the tone for those group of kids. All right, like everybody knows in New York, you were just one of many dancers with your own personal philosophy. You know, if someone doesn't like you, they can just replace you with another teacher. You know, versus like when you are someone who's already established coming into the city of New York, that's a different ballgame right there. You know. It's almost like, you know, like I was talking to my friend who's a K-pop YouTuber. His name is Jerry. I was like, Jerry, don't go to LA. He's like, why? I was like, because if you go to LA right now, you have 1 million followers. If you go to LA right now, you will be one of many YouTubers with 1 million followers already out there in LA. All right, go to LA when they ask for you, not because it's convenient for you, because you lose your value the minute you go to LA. All right, when they ask for you and they summon you there, then go. You know, because you can leave at any point in time, and you're only there for the work.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like for example,
that's a good point.
Because Beyonce can go back to Houston whenever she wants. She can like, I'm going back to Houston. I'm like, no, like no. And Cardi can leave New York whenever she wants. You know, like well, never mind. No, she's not. It's Cardi. She ain't going nowhere. She ain't going nowhere.
She's not going to, but she could if she wanted to.
She could.
She's in Atlanta, I think, right now. Like most of her time, because I believe they bought a house in Atlanta.
Oh, I believe
that's
it.
Where they live.
I believe it. Like I know Mariah's in New York, and Mariah's not. It's New York. Mariah's not going anywhere. Mariah's not going to be leaving New York.
Right? No, she's not.
I know Shakira is in Bahamas/Miami. So, but that's her stomping grounds. All right, so that makes sense, you know. But like, it's like a local thing. It's like, how do you what truly is being famous in New York? Because you can be famous and make millions of dollars and never leave the borough. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Are there people who never left their boroughs?
Bronx people normally don't leave the borough.
Okay, because I'm like, I wonder, is it possible to live in New York and never leave your borough?
If you're still streaming, they're gonna drag me. If you're still streaming, anyone from the Bronx is gonna drag me. But Bronx people don't tend to leave the Bronx.
I've noticed.
And I can say that because my dad is from the Bronx and he never left.
I've noticed. Because I'm just like, okay. And it's funny because outside of New York, we always like, oh, let's go to New York. I'm like, don't do it. I'm like, don't do it. Don't do it. You better visit first. You better visit first.
Right. But Bronx people don't tend to leave, to the point where a TikTok video went viral of this girl who was like, hidden gem bear burger. And I'm just like, sis, there's a bear burger by my house. There's like 8 in the city. What? Hidden gem. And then she was like, well, I've never heard of it, and I didn't say anything. Every bone in my body wanted to comment, be like, because you're from the Bronx and you never left the Bronx. Every bone in my body. And I was like, no, don't do it.
No,
No,
if you ever come to Richmond, it's the same, like, not the same thing, but like, there's literally hidden gems. If you have a place called Galaxy Diner, like, it looks like a 50s diner that they made with spaceships. We have a place called Juan Gonzalez. It's an Asian Mexican fusion restaurant. That's the only place you'll find it, I think. But like you'll go to Virginia and go to Richmond, go on a food tour and never leave. You will leave fat because you will leave fat because there's so many hole in the wall restaurants.
Well played. Yeah.
Also, your accent just came out, and I find it hilarious.
Only people not from New York can clock it. It's really funny. Well, no, my friend from New York clocked it once because I got mad at somebody. Called somebody stupid.
You said all. I'm like, see, you said all. I'm like, yep, there it is. Hi, New York. Nice to meet you.
I was angry, and I was like, I'm stupid. And she's like, you just became the most New York of the New Yorks. You earned the golden spoon. You earned the golden spoon. I'm from Queens, so Nas is going to crown me.
Lord. No, I understand because when I start shouting, that's when like the Virginia / no Virginia goes away when I start. Louisiana comes out when I start shouting. Louisiana comes out when I start shouting. But it makes sense. But also like, hold on, what is your mom's sign, by the way?
My mom is a Taurus.
Okay, does she feel hollow?
She has her moments.
Because it's like the moon goes over your fourth house. The fourth house is like how you experience your mother. And it's like fourth house Gemini is very like your mom is saying she loves you, but you're not feeling it. It's like words, her lips are moving and words are coming out, but like you're not feeling it.
So I always felt it in the sense of her supporting me. Like, always there for me, always did what she needed to do for me. Like, anything I wanted to do, she was behind me. She did it. She put the money into it. She was here. And that's where I felt love from her the most. Like, dance, I went to my first dance studio. I stopped going for a little bit. When I started up again, she found several places for me to dance. Like, I picked dance back up when I was in the 8th grade, I believe. And I went to that place. That place shut down. She found the next place. The running joke in the family is I could have said, I want to be a transatlantic hot air balloonist. And she would have said, all right, let's find a class. That's the joke in the family. I could have said the most obscure thing, and my mom would have been like, all right, let's go. Let's figure this out. Everything. Like learning to play the guitar. The one time I wanted to join band, I wanted to play the saxophone. She was like, no, it's heavy. You're not going to.
As a saxophone player, no, it is not. That saxophone is not heavy. The bass saxophone, that's heavy. That motherfucker heavy.
I played the flute instead.
So did I.
I played the flute instead.
Wait, were you in marching band?
Not marching. Middle school, I was in a regular seated band.
You should have. Child marching band is a whole. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. That saxophone is not heavy until you have to play. The minute you get to marching, woo, your arms.
Flute, I can only imagine being the worst during marching.
It's so uncomfortable to march with. You don't understand. It's so uncomfortable. Like I can go forward, I can go backward, I can go to the left, but the minute you make me go right, I'm like, what the hell? This is so uncomfortable because the minute I go to the left, it feels comfortable because I'm in posture.
Your arms are set again. But
yes.
You gotta go right. It's like,
I hate marching I hate it so much. Yes, I do,
but
Lord.
I also you have to blow across it. So like, just marching and you're bouncing and
I always tell people, I can sing and dance in the same time, not because I was trained because of marching band. Because God forbid I bounce playing that flute. No, I got you. Like, I can dance on my tiptoes and sing just fine.
Mm-hmm.
All thanks to marching.
But she's not, my mom, she's not someone who's all about physical affection. That's not her thing. Like, as a kid, I used to just go and hug her and she'd just wait for me to stop. Like, she went, all right, are you done? Is this enough?
No, she's a Taurus. Because Tauruses, they express to help you translate your mom's emotion better, Tauruses express emotion through physical items. So, for example, if you make her something if you hand make something specifically made for cuddling, then it's easier for her to translate because she can tell, okay, my daughter put in the work to make this quilt. All right, so there's effort, there's blood, sweat, and tears that went into this. If you could hug her with the quilt on, or like for example, you made your mama a coat. Let's say you handmade her a coat. She'd hug you. It's like, my mama's wearing the coat I made for her. Then it'd be fine. So it's like if there is a way to get that from her, it's a lot of work though.
Yeah, but Either way, like I said, she has her hollow moments. Like she just has her moments.
Mm-hmm.
Like the only time, like most of the time when I cry, she doesn't know what to do. It's very much like everything's gonna be okay. There was one time she actually held me when I cried, but that was a one-time thing, and it was very intriguing. It was because my dad did something screwed up, and she ended up hugging. I was crying, and she was like, "Come here," and she held me, and I was just like, "That's weird.
Who are
Good
you?
God." Right? Like, is there a xenomorph in this human skin? What is happening?
A xenomorph? You mean what? What the animorph? What the hell?
Xenomorph is the alien from Alien. I think. I think. I could be wrong.
No, because like you said xenomorph, and I'm just like animorph. Because like
Animorph.
because like I'm like there's a whole like first of all, can we redo that whole series? I saw one episode was like nope, because I was like no.
I never wanted it live action. Let me make that exponentially
They
clear.
need
I
to do a
never wanted.
redo. That series was too damn good for them to fuck it up like that in that
Yes.
movie. First of all, is it Cassie or Casey? Because I call her Casey.
I don't remember.
The one black girl on the whole show, you could have done. I like Tobias though. Tobias, I like me some or Tobias. Tobias, I call him Tobias.
Probably Tobias.
But like Tobias sounds nicer though.
It does. You have that. It does.
You know, I'm like this. But I was like, but he's a hawk, and I like hawks. Whenever I see like a hawk eat a bird, I'm like, yes, Tobias, yeah. Like yes, Tobias.
I imagine just taking your cat and you just being conflicted.
No, literally. I'd be like, but I stand Tobias, but Mimi, I don't want to lose my cat. But then again, Tobias wouldn't do that. Tobias would just be like, I mean, I'm not going to eat your cat, but like, I always wonder if they ate something in animal form, would they poop it out in human form?
Human form? Things I would know. Same thing I wonder.
Questions that need to be answered. You know, but question, it's with your, let's talk about your communication issues.
Communication issues.
Your Mercury is not in the same sign as is in Scorpio. You have similar placement to Kamala Harris, actually.
Really?
Yeah, she's a Libra Sun, Scorpio Mercury. So people mistake her for being more intense than she actually. That's why it's like she looks scary, and she's just like hi, and she's like this doting mother, and you're so confused. You know, like her reactions are not like she reacts to things in ways people don't expect her to, which saved her a lot during the debate because she looks intimidating, all right? And then the minute she's just like hi, nice to meet you, everyone's just like oh. Mr. Vice President, I'm speaking. That moment was how we expected her to react to certain situations. Yeah. But she played it very, very safe. Very black, very Blasian realness. We stand, you know? But in your case, it's like because your Mercury is not in the same sign as your sun sign, people take you way too seriously or not serious enough. People are always on a different page than you. It's like sometimes
not serious enough.
Yeah, it fluctuates. Like there are times where you'll be talking like casually, and they'll be like, oh, "How could you say that?" And you're just like, "Huh? What are you talking about?" You know? Or you'll be serious, like you said, and they're just brushing it off.
Yeah, I usually run into that one more. I do have moments though, like one of my closest friends at work, we had a little moment where she felt like we got into it one time, and then she went into this she went into like a protective mode for herself. And she thought I was saying something a little more seriously than I was. And I was just like, I didn't mean anything by that. I thought we were just having a conversation. Why? No one ever comes to my apartment. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. Mm-hmm. That was weird. There was no one there. Either way. Yeah, but she went into a protective mode over herself. And she was just like, well, it felt like it was going in the direction of the last discussion we had. And I was just like, no, I was fine. And she even was like, well, because she felt that way. She was like, let's cut this here because I don't like where this is going. And I was like, okay. And I moved on. And she was just like, well, I just felt like you were going to call me pretentious again. And I'm just like, we were not headed that way in any sense. Like, we didn't have that kind of a conversation as we were last time. So that does happen, but I usually run into people not taking me very seriously, is what I tend to run into.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, was this a white lady?
No.
Okay. I thought you were gonna call me pretentious again. I will say. I will say sometimes, just for like because I'm a sociologist. I'll just sit. I will just sit in Times Square, just listen to the conversations around me, just like fascinating. I'm like, they just be so serious. Well, I can't tell who's being serious and who's not because they speak so
Who's not anymore?
passionately.
Right. But yeah, where did I put my gummy worms? But there they go. But yeah, just that's what I. The pretentious thing happened because I'm very picky with wording. I'm very picky with wording. Like, I don't like definitive statements where you make it seem like your opinion, it should be the opinion of everyone's, if that makes sense. Like, I don't like when people just blanket statement, this is bad, rather than, I feel like, in my opinion, this is bad. It's something I don't care for.
Mm-hmm.
So, what happened was, we got into it about Degrassi. Funny enough, it was
Oh
Degrassi.
my. Oh my.
And
Which
it was
season? Which Degrassi?
the later seasons. This is Adam, Drew, Fiona, Bianca.
Ooh, see, these names are just triggering. I don't even like.
Triggering.
Ooh, these names. Ooh.
I didn't think it was bad, so I didn't think it was bad, especially because like I was at the time I was watching them. I'm still in high school. I was going through a lot of stuff. Like I really enjoyed that season, and I feel like some things were written poorly, but there were enough things written really well that it was like, all right, then like it's not as bad as you're making it out to be, you know? So we got into it. She's like, no, that season was bad. And I'm like, you think it was bad. There were enough of us out there still watching it that they didn't cancel it. So it couldn't have been that bad. Also, that was the season they got nominated for an Emmy. That generation got nominated for an Emmy. And so we got into it over that. And then the way she would talk, like I would explain to her, like, my problem is just how you're wording this, girl. It's just how you're wording this. You have your right to your opinion. I'm not trying to change your mind. Just change how you're wording this right now. And she just refused. And then eventually she was like, well, I teach writing and I do this and I do that. And I'm like, you sound pretentious. You sound real pretentious.
Yeah, I will say.
And I don't think you mean it sound this way.
My one issue. The one issue with Degrassi was how they did Campbell or Cam, where he just died, and they didn't explain. I'm just like, what the hell just happened? They just find him. I'm just like, wait, I'm so confused. I'm so confused. I was like, find him. Like, wait, how? What? I was so lost. I was so lost.
I can still hear you. I need to find my charger.
Oh, you're fine. Yeah, I didn't understand what was happening and why he died. I was like, I'm so confused.
Yeah, no, it was odd and it felt like out of nowhere. It was odd. It felt like it came out of nowhere. I think the way they chose to deal with it was good because they made it about the aftermath of the suicide. But yeah, the just why him, first of all. Like, I get it. They threw a bunch of warning signs in there, but it was weird.
Mm-hmm.
And then having Eli find him, the least mentally stable person on the show, having him find him was just a mess.
Like I watched the guys because like, ooh, there's gay couples. Ooh, gay couples. We love gay couples. Where'd the Asian guy go? Why is he with the white dude? Of course he's with the white dude. You know, I was like, what's the hell? What's happening? Romeo and Jules. I want more of that. I want.
That's also why I liked it. As like my first interaction, I'm bisexual, so my first interaction with bisexuality was Degrassi, Paige and Alex, like back in the day. Like they were my first interaction with the idea of being bisexual. But they were such a toxic couple, so I was just like, it was rough. But then that second generation, they did a really good two female representation, two femme presenting women. Let me say it that way. Two femme presenting women in a relationship. They did it really well, and it was healthy. And it was healthy with Fiona and Imogen. It was healthy. So that's just what I'm like, it wasn't bad. It got bad when they threw the freshmen in there. When they threw Tristan, Maya.
Oh, Tristan got on my nerves. He got on my nerves.
He got on everybody's nerves.
I will say it was always the one thing I will say. There would be times where certain characters would just get randomly antagonistic, just out of the blue, and then it'd be like
Mm-hmm.
as if it never happened. I'm like, what? What the hell just happened? I need more explanation, please.
Mm-hmm. But he got on everybody's nerves. He was one of the worst. He was poorly. He was a poorly written character.
Oh no, he was very accurate to the annoyance of the white twink. No, great character. In terms of annoying white twinks, amazing character, flawlessly on point. We love it, But like, oh my god.
Yeah, I didn't think about that part.
Yeah, I was like, no, he's very. No, I've met Tristans in my life before. They're just like that,
Mm-hmm.
But how come you don't trust people in your love life though? Is there sexual trauma?
Past relations. Yes, but that's not why.
Yeah, because that's showing in your love planets. The sexual trauma.
Yes, but that's not why.
Mm-hmm.
My lack of trust comes from just. Well, I've also played dumb way too many times. I've played dumb way too many times. Like,
I do the same shit. You're fine, sis.
Recently, I even did it, but I love to play dumb and act like I'm not playing dumb while it's happening. So there's a lack of trust there because of the way things go down. So, like, one ex I was with on and off for 4 years cheated on me like 80% of the time. Cheated on me like 80% of the time. Stayed. Why did I stay? But then for that one, I can't be like, well, you were a teenager. My most recent ex, she was my first, she's my only interaction with love bombing. So it's just like I now constantly
What's
question.
her sign? What's her sign?
Sag. She's the Sag rising Scorpio sun.
Yeah, certain like Aquarius, Sag, sometimes Leo, and Pisces. Are very much known for the love bombing. That's one reason why like you see me roasting these signs so much because of the love bombing.
She just has this consistent. She just consistently. That's what she does. Like when we first started talking to each other, she was completely into me, and then 2 weeks later, it was like I don't think this is gonna go anywhere, and then. She likes to play the manipulation card a lot, so it was like some people around her were manipulating her. That's what she likes to do. It was like, I spoke to this person, and they were saying how they don't really feel like we're doing anything real, so I think we should just, like, stop dating. And I was just like, okay, broke my heart. Got over it quickly, though, because she was still around me. We were still friends. The second time around, she didn't talk to me for a while, because she had a boyfriend, and she has a tendency to do that. She didn't talk to me for a while. When things went south with her boyfriend... Then she popped back into my life again. And it was the same thing, love bombing. It was like, I'm still into you. I've always had feelings for you. I let someone manipulate me out of being in a relationship with you. I'm in love with you. It never stopped, whatever. Then the moment she was put in a situation of someone with from her past, I was thrown to the wayside. And then, again, me playing dumb. We didn't talk for about 4 years in between. No, I'm lying. I'm fully lying. We didn't talk for like a year and a half, but we were still running in the same circles because the guy she was dating, we went to the same school and we were in the same dance program. So we had to go to the same, she was showing up to shows I was dancing in and stuff like that. So we saw each other, but then one day she just saw me and instead of, I used to smile at her because it would scare the fuck out of her. It used to scare her. It was really fun. Like I'd smile and she'd go running away and I was like, haha, I won this somehow. But, she one day chose to actually try and talk to me instead of running away. And then apparently that night she broke up, not that night, but a few weeks later, she broke up with him to pursue me. We dated for like 3 months and then she just broke up with me out of the blue. And then we didn't speak for 4 years. For 4 years, we did not talk. And she plays games about it too. Like she'll block me, then unblock me, then block me, then unblock me. I let her back in to try and be friends, and then it obviously went to further than that, and I played dumb again, and I let her back in, and it was just, it ended up being the same thing. Once she found something shiny and new, she was gone again. And this time it was more of a lie. It was, like, weird. It's just, like, I'm not stupid. Like she played it like I was dumb, and then that's where that comes from. Because it's just like, should I believe you? Should I genuinely believe what you're saying to me? I guess is where that comes from in my love life. Like there's just like are you love bombing me, or is this do you genuinely mean this?
Understandable. I think because here's the thing I will say for gay relationships, never do the like for if she was like if she was a Sagittarius man, I'd be like go for it, you know. But the compatibilities that work for straight couples do not work for gay couples. You know, like for example,
Really?
they don't. They do not. You know, like for example, like if you are a Libra sun with a Virgo moon, all right, and she is a was Libra sun with a Virgo moon. If she was like a Capricorn sun with a Gemini moon, I'm like sure, go for it, go for it. You know, but if she's a Gemini sun Capricorn moon, I'm like no. You know that if she was a guy, then sure. You know, but she's not. You know, but also part of the issue with being bisexual is that you have a mom who doesn't show emotional affection, so you're emotionally underdeveloped.
Yes, thoroughly.
Yeah, emotionally incredible, and plus like your Mercury and your Venus are in Scorpio, so you have a way of communicating in a love language expression that is water based. So it's more touch, it's more emotion, it's more passion based. All right, so you need to be with someone who can communicate that, which whether it's or who can communicate that and who is receptible to that. That's one thing. One of the hardest parts about dating, about having gay relationships, is when I was looking at the signs, is like having somebody. That's one thing I learned. Is like when I was studying like gay couples, is making sure your partner is not is receptible to your expressions of love, but can also give you the love that you need in return. Like Chris and Ian, I always use Chris and Ian as an example. Chris is a Capricorn Sun, Libra Moon, Sagittarius Mercury, Aquarius Venus, Aquarius Mars. Ian is an Aquarius Sun, Libra Moon, Pisces Venus, Pisces Mercury, Capricorn Venus, Aries Mars. Ian's love language is compatible with Chris. Chris's love language is compatible with Ian. You know, they're receptible to each other's ways of expressing love and desire. No biggie. You know, and that's one of the reasons why they work so well. You know, but in the one downside maybe is, how do I say? If I'm correct, I do think Ian loved bomb Chris a little bit based on how they explain how they got together. Like, I'm like the beginning, I think Ian was a love bomber at first, and then Chris was just like, so I'm not gonna fly out here for now. I'm not gonna fly out to see you. I'm not gonna fly out to LA every week for someone who's not gonna be my boyfriend. Like we're either together or we're not. So Chris laid that shit down from the get go.
Okay.
You know, and that's what I'm just like, because I was concerned at first when I saw that. I'm just like, ooh, my toxic radars are tingling. You know, but then Chris was like, he laid down. I was like, okay, Chris knew what was up. Chris knew better. All right, so the relationship was able to start on healthy terms. You know, with the intention of being there long term. And one of the biggest issues with gay relationships, and it's weird that astrology taught me this, like, is that people always say, I don't know what I want. What do you either want to get married and have kids, or you don't.
Don't.
Period.
Yeah.
There is no in between. You either you might want to get married and not. You either want to get married and have kids, get married with no kids, or stay single.
Mm-hmm.
There's that one in between, and even then, it's just like eventually somebody's gonna want to have some type of child in the room. Eventually, at some point, you know. Mm-hmm. You know, so it's how do I say? It's one of those situations where it's like you gotta. What's the word? You gotta really take the time to focus on. Feel out what that other person wants. And it sucks because unfortunately with some gay relationships, you only find this when the age gap is wider. You know, because for example, Kirsty and Ian are 10 years apart, which is not a bad thing, you know. But I find that you only find that solid dynamic and when there's at least like 7 and up age year gap, which is sad. It's very sad. You know, because obviously it's like you want to obviously you would want to date somebody your age. Now I'm only 24, and I realize you're 94. So, how old were these women you were dating? No. We had a glitch. Oh, what? Oh, brr. You froze on my end. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Oh, I said, wait, can you hear me? Wait, test. Can you say something really quick?
Testing.
Oh, okay. I can hear you now. You're still frozen, but
You
I
were
can hear you.
asking how old we. You asked how old we were when we were dating.
Yes.
Um, the first time we were both 19. The time when we were actually in a relationship for about 3 months, it was how old were we? We were 21.
Mm-hmm.
And then most recently we were both 25.
Understandable. Understandable. You know, but how? What about the guys that you've dated, or have you dated guys?
I have dated guys. Guys I've dated most recently, I believe he was an Aquarius. He hated astrology and like refused to tell me.
See, I ha- there's an astrologer who I have no problem name dropping. His name Astrology by Mari. He's not even an astrologer. Let me correct myself. He's not even an astrologer. He does sun sign readings for $1 a minute, which is stupid. Absolutely stupid. You know, I'm like, how are you gonna charge someone $1 a minute to tell them about their sun sign? I can Google that shit. You know, he refused to tell me. I'm like, hey, it's like, oh, hey, do you want to see? I can show you how to do natal charts so you can actually like make better money than what you're making now. You know, and he's like, no, I can just like send people to you if they want more. It'll be like my gift to you. I'm like, what, the God complex? You know, it was very stupid. Very, very stupid.
If
I know. Like, because it's just like, how do I say? Like, because technically, to charge someone $1 a minute to tell them about their sun sign is kind of a scam. It's kind of a scam.
oh no, that absolutely is.
Kind of a scam. You know?
But he refused to tell me. I believe he was an Aquarius. I don't fully remember. It didn't end well.
Yeah, it's always the weirdest thing. It was like, hey, can I look at you? It's like, no. I'm like, it's just something for fun. It's a fun little icebreaker. Like, what's the issue?
It got to the point I read tarot.
Mm-hmm.
It got to the point where, like, if I wanted information from him, I could be like, I will give you a tarot card reading if you do not tell me this. Like, all right, fine.
You had to threaten him with tarot cards.
Tarot card reading. Like, But either way, he wouldn't tell me. I believe he was an Aquarius. He just...
When's his birthday?
I blocked him on everything. I don't remember.
No, see that's my gripe with Aquarius. That is my gripe with them. Sometimes they will do things just out of the sake of being rebellious. And I'm just like, there's a whole relationship that could be happening right now, but you want to prove a point.
He's one of those. That's why I believe he was an Aquarius, because yes. So we were talking. He's been chasing me for about 4 years. He had been chasing me. We met at a surprise party for a friend in 2016. Okay, we met for a surprise party for a friend in 2016. I was drunk off my behind, and I kissed him before I left the bar, but I was so drunk that I had to go back into the bar to get my debit card because I left it and I called the tab. So I was like, oh, I have to go back now. I'm not as smooth as I thought I was. But the point is, we then kind of remade up right before lockdown in New York happened in March. And he's like, well, what are you looking for? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well,
wait, is he black?
Pakistani.
I have to adjust. Hold on, adjusting my brain. Because I was picturing a black man. I was picturing a black man as a kid, recalibrating. Okay. He
asked me what I was looking for, and I was just like, you know what, I do want the white picket fence. I want a family. I'm open to whether that be with a man or a woman. I'm open to it. And I'm like, but sex is fun while I'm looking. No big deal. And he was like, well, I don't believe in love. I think it's bullshit. And I was just like, oh. Then we had a conversation a few weeks later. I will never forget. I was doing my dishes. We were talking. And he was like, I was having this conversation with a friend the other day, like you could get on, he's like, there's a plane with a party on it. Like, even if it has no destination, you're still going to get on the plane. I'm like,
no, I'm not. I am black. No, the fuck I am not.
I was like, no, I'm
They tried that trick with us when it was a boat, and that's called slavery.
Slavery.
It's called slavery. We didn't know where the hell we was going.
Slavery.
Exactly.
Like, I was like, no, I'm not gonna get on a... No!
Absolutely not.
Basically what he wanted, and I realized that he liked me enough to be honest about the fact that, like, he, in that moment, to be honest, like, he wanted the boyfriend experience without the title. Like, he used to, like... Okay, I have very strict rules with my hookups and, like, friends with benefits situations. Don't hug me afterward. Don't cuddle me. Don't do that. Don't do any of that. No, that's how people catch feelings. Like, he went to, I'll never forget, he went to put his arm around me, and I was just like, what do you think this is? And he was just like, well, I mean, we could sit here, cuddle, and watch TV. I'm like, no, we can't. You're not my boyfriend. You've made a boyfriend-level request. You do not have the money in your account for that.
Like, this is not the package you signed up for. You signed for the smash and dash at the cuddle and shuttle. Like, we ain't doing that.
Right. That's not it. But that's what I mean. Like, he was very much a rebellious, because why don't you believe in love? What? And then he was like, I just feel like someone's just fulfilling a need. It's not really an emotion. It's someone's fulfilling a need.
Who hurt him? Who hurt him? Who hurt him?
All I know is he did something really malicious. Not intentionally. It was wrong. He did something really wrong, and I ghosted him because I didn't want to deal with him.
Wait, what did he do?
So he came in contact with an STI, and he blamed me.
Kill him. Just kill him. Kill him.
He blamed me.
Just kill him.
So we were sitting, like, I'll never forget it because, like, I joke around that I'm a hoe, but I'm very much in control of my variables. Like, I have a hotation. I got that from Insecure. I have a hotation. I don't do the one-night stand thing. It's, like, a group of at least 5 people. They're the same people. And I'm in control of the variables. So he, instead of just being like, hey, I came into contact with this, you might want to go get checked, I can bring you the antibiotics, he was like, he's like, I have to give you something for something you gave me. And I'm like, I gave you? I'm like, and I'm thinking, like, I gave him something, like a gift. And I'm just like, what did I give you that? I'm like, and then I remembered he mentioned, like, it burning when you peed a little bit. And I was like, what did you give me? And he's like, what did you give me? He's like, what did I give you? What did you give me? I'm like, what do you mean, what did I give you? And I ghosted him. But then I'm crazy. So I went on Facebook one day, and it was this girl on Twitter talking about how she was friends with somebody. They were friends, and she asked the girl, like, oh, is our relationship okay? Because, like, it feels off. And the girl blocked her, and he was like, and she's like, moral of the story is if you're in your 20s, learn to communicate, right? He laughed at that status. So I'm crazy. So I went and I texted him. And I was like, since we're laughing at things on social media being petty, here's why I ghosted you. So I laid out the reasons. I'm like, you're a piece of shit. Why would you ever approach that way? I ghosted you because I do not want to speak to you. You do not deserve my time. You are not worthy of that. And he basically got butthurt because I called him great value Jason Momoa.
Wait. What did he look like?
What, can you hear me?
What did he look like? Oh.
My end. Oh, there we go. You're back.
Okay.
But I called him great value Jason Momoa, and that very clearly hurt his feelings.
Wait, what did he look like?
Okay, take Jason Momoa, thin it out. Don't take care of the hair as much. And darken the skin tone a little bit.
So was his hair straight or no?
It was wavy and long. Like, wavy and long.
Oh, so Jesus.
Yes.
So take Jesus but make him take the white Jesus, make his hair black, a little bit more wavier, and then make him dark. Exactly. No, because I've seen that. Wait, there's some version where there's some dudes on TikTok on Instagram who do like the whole Hispanic Jesus, but I'm like, that looks accurate though. The Hispanic Jesus
look like. Right.
Ah, so Hispanic Jesus. Okay. But actually from that region, Jesus. Okay.
Yeah, tune it a little bit darker than like a Hispanic Jesus. Tune it a little bit darker. But in the end, he said to me, what did he say? Oh, he was mad at me because he's like, you say I'm not good at understanding emotion, but you were using me as a therapist a lot. And I was like, I use everybody as a therapist. There are a lot of people. I said, some of them don't even have a master's degree like you, babe.
I'll be like, bitch, I'm an astrologer. I I work 9 to 12 hours a day counseling people. Don't come at me with that bullshit.
But then he got mad. So you just use people for dicks and ears, right? And I'm the one creating. Like,
ears, Dixon.
I said yes. I said yes. I said absolutely.
Unapologetically.
I said absolutely, and you knew that. Like, this was just sex. This was nothing more than that. You knew that from the jump. And then basically it led to him calling my pussy mediocre. And he said I brought nothing to the table but mediocre pussy, and he was never really attracted to me.
He kept coming back though, so.
For 4 years. But either way, for 4 years. But that's men for me. That one I did it in Aries for a little bit.
Aries men from New York are the fun. I'm sorry. Aries men from New York are a trip.
I've never been gaslit like that. Never.
Aries men from New York are they the type to be knocking on your window and you obviously ignoring them, and they gonna keep knocking on your window until you and then be confused when the cop pull up.
I've never been gaslit like that. It was crazy. Like,
what
we met on OkCupid. Like, we were chilling. Everything was cool. I had just started my job at Macy's at that time. Like, he would ride a train home with me. Everything was chill. Like, from the first round of this mess, he was just trying to have sex with me, which I was fine with. I was like, whatever. Then we didn't talk for a while. He circled back randomly, like out of the blue. He circled back, and then he was like, I want to take you out. Like, I know I looked like a dick the last time. I was going through some stuff. I got more figured out now. Like, so, like, let's try this again. So he took me out on a date. We went out. I paid for his coffee at the second place we went to. He tried to have sex in the car. I was like, not into it. And then he was like, okay, so give me a week to prove that I'm not like the dick that you thought I was. It's like, okay. He was great for that 7 days. Then it went back to the same BS where I was being ghosted. I'm texting him and I'm not getting answers for 6 to 9 hours. It went back to the same mess. So then I was just like, you know what? Putting effort into you is just not worth it anymore. So I stopped. Comes back again. Talk about some. I was trying to put a ring on you. Like, what's up?
What?
I'm just like, sir, you don't know me to put a ring on me.
I will say this: the last Aries man I interacted with. This is how you know Aries men. You're gonna laugh. This is. I think it was this. Yes, this was on Valentine's Day. He did one of those Snapchat compatible. This is the sad stuff, but this boy was straight when I met him. He ain't straight no more. But I didn't catch feelings. I was very just like, nope, ignore it. No, don't think about it. Don't look at it. I was very just like, nope, shut it off. Don't fall for the straight boy. He fell for me. And then on Valentine's Day, he was with his girlfriend at the time. He just got his girlfriend. This is that was a year ago. Like, we met like last February, March. All right. This is like, he confessed to me in the summer. I was like, huh? Then I moved. It was some stuff happening, but whatever. But he did one of those Snapchat compatibility tests, those Zodiac he matched with me 3 times in front of his girlfriend. Took a picture of the compatibility match with his girlfriend in the background going, and then sent it to me. I'm just like, did you just? I'm like, I do not know. I mean, I'm laughing. I don't know if she laughing though.
She's laughing.
Cause like, I mean, you basically, I mean.
That's it. No. Aries, man, I don't care for Aries in general. Mm-hmm. Like, it's something I've run into a few times. Mm-hmm. Because the Aries in my life all have the same tendencies. Mm-hmm. They all have the same tendencies in my life. Where him, what did he do? With him, it was by the time we stopped talking that time, he was calling me rude and stuff. He was calling me rude. He's like, you've been really rude lately. And I'm just like, I wonder why, dickbag. Like, I mean, you've been an asshole and you claim you're trying to put a ring on me. This ain't how you do it. This ain't the way to go about it. So we stopped talking. I blocked him. I go through, after about 7 to 9 months. I usually go and I go through my block list. I'm like, all right, you don't need to be here anymore.
I do the same thing. We're the same person.
Like, you don't need to be. I did it to him, and then he found I had a Starfire cosplay. The Gabriel, I'm probably gonna say his name wrong. Gabriel Piccolo. He does like the casual Teen Titans. I did a casual Starfire look for Halloween. It was one of my first cosplays, and he liked it. And I was like, okay. So I let him follow. So I followed him. He's like, are you sure? Like, I'll never forget it. Like in the message, like, are you sure? I'm like, you can. Oh, that's fine. I don't care. So he came back.
He said, are you sure?
Then he came back, and this time it was weird because we talked on the phone. We were talking on the phone a lot. We went on a date again, but this time he didn't pay for my food. To the point where people in the bar yelled at him. People in the bar were really angry with him for not paying for my meal. And I was like, I don't give a fuck. I think I'm paying better money than you. I don't care. I wasn't. He's an electrician. But either way, whatever. He kept trying to convince me to go to a hotel with him. I'm like, I have work in the morning. No. And then we started talking on and off. And there were certain things that would trigger him. And I thought it was funny. Like, there's this Instagram profile called Me and Somebody's Son, and it's black people as me. Son. It's couple pictures, and it's like me, somebody's son. So I posted them. Every so often when I saw a cute one, I would post it. He would get triggered every time.
Every
time he got triggered, and I was like, what? And then somebody was talking about head wraps and like wearing like a head wrap like but on my whole head. And he was like, oh, I love that. And I'm just like, he's like, my ex used to do it all the time. And I'm like, don't mention you ex me. 2, so she didn't like doing her hair. He's like, no, she did her hair. And I was like, she's wearing a head wrap a lot. I'm going to let you know it's because she didn't want to do her hair.
That's why I'm bald. Because I'm lazy. That's why I'm bald.
That's why I didn't sit on the top of my head like this. I didn't know what to do there. So, like, I told him. I was just like, no, she didn't want to do her hair. He's like, between protective styles, he didn't say protective styles, like she would get box braids and the locks and stuff, and I was just like, oh, so between protective styles she would wear a head wrap. He's like, yeah, and I'm like, oh, so my statement still stands, she didn't want to do her hair. Whatever.
Wait, what's this one? Is he also Pakistani?
This is the same one.
This is the same one.
Then eventually one day he gets drunk, he goes day drinking and hits me up, and it's just like, oh hey, I'm bored, and I'm just like, I don't know what to do for you. And he said something about, he's like, you know what, I'm gonna jerk off in the shower. I'm like, good luck with that? Do you want help from me? Like, I don't understand what this point is.
Not the shower!
I don't understand what the point of this was. And this was the last time we spoke, because he was just like, I asked, he's like, well, ask me anything. Do you have any questions for me? Da-da-da-da. And I'm like, what do you want from me? Because I'm not clear anymore. And he's like, you're freaky, nasty, and you're fun, but I really just don't want to do the committed relationship thing. And I'm like, okay.
You want a cookie?
6 months ago, you were trying to put a ring on it, but now we don't do the commitment thing.
Aries.
And then, after that conversation 2 weeks over, I found myself blocked. We had not spoken for 2 weeks. I did nothing. I was blocked.
He had feelings. He didn't want to admit it.
That was an Aries. That was the worst. That was the worst.
Well, do you want to know your soulmate planets?
I would love to.
Okay. So there's your Eros. Eros is like uncontrollable romantic attraction. Romantic and sexual attraction. That's actually in Libra. All right? And it's in the 8th house, so that's a feminine house. I'm going to assume it may be someone it may be like, it's in the 3rd decan. So that's either a Libra, a Virgo, or a Gemini. A Libra, a Virgo, or a Gemini. And then that's this is uncontrollable romantic attraction. Then there is your Valentine. Valentine is the true love asteroid. This is the I will do anything for you no matter what. All right? That's the I will sacrifice anything. That's the I will sacrifice for true love type of thing. Uh-huh. That's in Virgo. All right, which means that like you will probably this is the kind of person that like you will you're attracted at the Eros, you're attracted to somebody who's naturally charming. All right? And for the Valentine one, you are attracted to somebody who you have no problem sacrificing a bunch of time and energy and like you want to invest in your partner. All right, you want like it's like you want to be able to put in the work into the relationships because it makes you feel like you're involved. You know, and that in your Valentine in Virgo, that is in the third decan of Virgo. So that's either that is a Virgo or a Taurus or a Libra, and your Juno is your this is the soulmate, the twin flame, the marriage, long term relationships. Your Juno that is in Scorpio.
Okay. The ex-girlfriend's a Scorpio.
Try no. You could try dating like just date a guy. If it doesn't work out with a girl, the same sign. Try it as a guy. Like if you don't get along with, you have too much. You have too much water for the fire signs and the air signs. You have too much water for them. All right. Think of it like even for both guys and girls, you have too much water for them. All right. Because you are from Mercury, your Mercury's in Scorpio, Venus in Scorpio, Mars is in Cancer. The only air parts of your chart is your sun sign and your rising. You have way too much water. You are not meant to. And like the only time you could date is maybe if he had the same amount of like another water stuff as you. But it's like again, like you too much water and too much earth for the air and the fire signs. Just avoid the air and the fire signs. Now,
got it.
Now, I will say that it can be indirectly. So if they have like a Mars in an air sign, a Mars in the fire sign, then sure, that's fine. Because you're receptible to that, you know? But I think the thing for you is that you need someone specifically, guy or girl, who can recognize when you're being serious and when you're not being serious. Because there's a big communication thing involving whether you're being serious or when you're not being serious. And you end up attracting a lot of people. I think people who know what they want have a hard time dating because people are attracted to them, and then we are so unmoving because we take dating. There's a difference between people who are shallow with their dating and then people who are serious. People who are shallow with their dating, there's no emotion. It's just like, oh, I want a girl who looks like this or this or this or this. You know, with people who are serious have a lot of dating trauma because like people think that like they can change them, especially New York men. New York men, New York men, New York men, New York men. Ah! And I will say this. I don't know what it was. I grew up watching a lot of sitcoms that were shot in New York. I'm always every time I go to New York, I'm just like, what? Like I'm just like, hi. Like you want to talk to you? No.
No.
Like I'll go to New York and just like, hold on, let me turn the New Yorker on. What's up, motherfuckers? I'm ready to go. You know. And it may be in your case, it may just be that the person you need, because I was a lot of New Yorkers who run into this dating issue. I'm like, it may just be that the person you're meant to date isn't from New York City, you know, because for you to have all these morals, like there are men in other parts of the country that they would flock to you because like yes, I've been waiting for a girl who wants that, you know, but you won't find that in that city because in that city everyone's disposable. One reason I say I will never get married and have kids in the city is because in the city everyone's disposable. All right, you can dump somebody and find someone else just like that.
Yeah.
Easy peasy. So in this case for you, that doesn't mean necessarily move out of New York, but move further into the suburbs, or even move to Jersey for all I know. You know, but like you cannot. Someone who values himself so much cannot date in an environment where people in general aren't valued to that extent.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. Also, why are you so emotionally indecisive?
Elaborate.
Emotionally indecisive. It's just like it's because your sun sign is squared with your Mars, so that your ego and your impulses are on two different spectrums. Like sun sign is just like thoughts, wind. Mars is like I feel just like I just want to hug everyone, you know. But like your brain is saying no, but your body is. It's like think of it like you're like I'm not sad, and your body's like yes you are. It's like,
yes
no,
you
I'm
are.
not. Like yes you are. Stop lying to yourself.
I think the funniest thing that happens in my head is like I'll be going through something emotionally, and in my head it's just like, but you're gorgeous and amazing, so like why? That happens a lot in my head. It's like yeah, but you're amazing, you're phenomenal, you're beautiful and amazing. So like what is this? What is happening here? Like that happens a lot in my head, and I don't know. I would love to agree more with my ego than I do my emotions, but that never happens.
I have a friend who's just like you. His name is he's a Gemini sun, Pisces moon, Cancer Mercury, Cancer Venus, and Taurus Mars. Just like you. Would y'all date? I don't know. But I don't know.
That doesn't, to me, that doesn't sound like a good idea if we're both going through that same
No,
internal
no,
issue.
no. I think it's more so just like, how do I say? Like y'all would be like different, like y'all be like personality wise, y'all just about the same. I'm like, I think he need that. He's not. He's one of those people who's just like, yeah, I don't care. I don't care. I'm like, Yunjay, you lie. You are a horrible liar. You are a horrible liar. I hope you know that. He's like, but I don't care. I'm like, Yunjay, stop lying to me.
You
Like
do
I
care.
have read your chart how many times? I know you better than your mom. You know, but like, it's how do I say? If you do date a Scorpio, oh, your Juno's in the sec. Oh yeah, yeah. That it's either a Scorpio or a Pisces. Like, play around with the gender a bit. Like, if it's a Scorpio, and yes, gender or sex, like, it does play a major role. Like, and I'm not trying to sound transphobic. I'm saying it does play like if you do not get along with someone who was born assigned female at birth, dating wise, it doesn't matter if she identifies as if they were to suddenly identify as non-binary, that wouldn't change the fact. Now, for example, because I read individuals who, when they had hormone therapy, that does cause a change.
Yeah.
Now, that's not to say date somebody based on whether they have hormone therapy. Don't do that, obviously. But if it's not working out, it doesn't even. This is just astrology. This is astrologer language in me talking. All right, like if I was an astrologer and I was dating somebody and they get hormone therapy, I know very much so that we would not get along after when they start that hormone therapy. I would just let it happen naturally. I wouldn't be like, okay, I'm not going to talk to you. I would just let it happen. But like, obviously, there's going to be a shift. Certain traits that get expressed in masculine energies are not going to be as compatible with you when expressed in feminine energies. All right. So two different. Like someone could have the same exact personality as your mom, and you would hate them if it's a guy.
Got it. Okay.
All right. Like why did it not work out with the Scorpio?
I can tell you my opinion. I don't have any solid anything on it, and I've come to terms with the fact that I don't need it. I think she still wants to be in drama, and that's just not where I am relationship wise anymore.
What do you mean?
Like, we got into it because I don't know if you remember back when the De La West thing happened with her and the drive-through at McDonald's and the person who liked her wife's hair. Oh, it was a whole thing. They were in the drive-through at McDonald's, and the cashier liked her wife's hair, and she said, "I really like your hair." And Dayla goes, "Thank you, we try." And she was all into it. She's like, "Yes, you gotta fight for your person." I'm like, that's not who I am. That's not what I do. Like, are you gonna go run away and be with a crackhead because they called you beautiful? No. Okay, so then why am I concerned? Like, do I need to be concerned that someone else is calling you beautiful? I don't care. You're with me, right? And she's like, yeah. So that happened, and then also that's looking at what happened in between the times when we weren't together.
She'd be like unnecessarily fighty.
Yes. Like, she would come back with these insane stories of things that had happened to her in previous relationships. Like, one guy, well, the most recent time when we started talking, the guy she was dating, I told her, I'm like, you looked really happy on social media. And she's like, yeah, it wasn't really like that. It was like I was forced to be in a throuple. I was manipulated into being in a throuple. The girl in the throuple got pregnant. This happened, that happened. Like, she's thriving. She thrives on that chaos, at least right now. I think she, thrives. No,
you're not wrong. Scorpio is a chaotic sign. You thrive in it, too.
Fair point. But not to that, extent,
but
I guess.
I will say this, is because the thing about Scorpios is that they want to get all the drama out the way. Because Scorpio is a sign of trauma, and if they don't want to have to go through unnecessary ego deaths that they didn't need to go through at the time. So sometimes they will go into a relationship and, just like Aquarius, look for the bad apple, look for all the toxic stuff, call that out, and then throw it out. Scorpios and Aquarius do the same thing. They find all the bad shit and they throw it out first. All right? And if she's bisexual, or pansexual / romantic, then sometimes there'll be situations where it's because for some people, they're submissive around men, they're dominant around women. It varies. For example, the guys that you've dated all sounded like they were trying. I think you need to date a man that is okay with you being a little bit more on the controlling side of things. Like a man who is okay being a little bit more submissive. Like, hey, if
Okay.
it's a guy that you need to peg, then sure, let it be a guy that lets you peg him. You know, like there is nothing more attractive than a straight man that is perfectly okay with letting his wife peg him. All
Yeah.
right, I've had clients
Yeah, I
like
get
that.
it.
I'm just like, see, you just got attractive. I don't like that. How are you 42 and I'm suddenly attracted to you? Straight,
Talking to you.
get away from me. I was so annoyed. You know,
But it's just, I think that's more, it was more of a her thing than it was anything else. Because once we got stable and there was no more of like the insanity, I think she just went looking somewhere else. And I think that's what kept happening when we dated for that 3 months, when we were more serious. All the chaos dwindled in the beginning because the problem was I told her she was dating someone that I went to school with. And he was causing a lot of issues. She ended up cheating on me with him for a little bit, and I was like, okay, so let's work through this. Once all that fizzled, she was like, okay, I've had enough of this. I'm done with this. That's basically what happened, and it happened again most recently I stopped talking to her in August. It happened again. There was a lot of chaos in the beginning because she didn't know what she wanted. She didn't know if she wanted to be with me. She didn't know if she wanted to be with the guy that she had just broken up with. And then there was another girl in the picture. There was a lot of chaos. There was a lot of chaos. She had lied to me because I asked her to her face if she'd had sex with that girl, and she's like, no, we weren't dating, so it was like, there's no harm, no foul if you did have sex with her. I just want to know. And she's just like, no. But then it comes out a week later that she did. All of that fizzled. And then next thing I know, she was on her, and she lied to me about where she was going. She went to go meet a girl that she met on her in North Carolina, and just lied to me about it. And like now she's
in
engaged.
North Carolina,
North Carolina.
what's in Wakanda's name? I ain't gonna. What's in
She met the girl. It was funny because me and my friends were talking because the last time she came over, she used to stay at my house a lot. Last time she came over was for my best friend's birthday party, and everyone noticed something was off with her. Like everyone noticed something was not right.
How?
Just the way she was. So the way we were, when she used to come over, we were always affectionate, kissing on each other, hugs around the waist. Like I would lay in her lap, she'd have her arms around me. Like we were all over each other physically. Like we were still present in the moment with other people, but like we were still all over each other. Then that particular weekend, she just was not with it being on me. It was weird. She was just not with being on me. Everyone else noticed it. My friend said when I'd actually gone to go run an errand to come back, she had a conversation with one of my friends where she was discussing her sexual orientation.
Oh my.
And she had a discussion with my friend about her sexual orientation, how she felt like she was a lesbian, and she essentially came out to my friend. And my friend thought, she's like, this is going to be a declaration that she's going to start pursuing me. And it didn't, that's not what happened. That's not what the conversation turned into. She's like, it sounded very much like she didn't know what she wanted. And then next thing I know, she leaves that weekend. We aren't talking as much as we used to, which with her was a sign that she was going to run. Like, I got to know her. We'd known each other for 8 years. Like, I'd gotten to know her signs when she was about to fly. Like, I knew her signs. And she stopped texting me. Stopped texting me out of the blue. Like, and suddenly I would get no answers to my text messages, or it would take 10 hours to get answers to my text messages. I'm like, you're about to run. And I knew it. I'm like, you're about to run. You're about to run. So then just that, all that happened, all that was told to me, and they're like, something's not right. And then next thing I know, she's telling me that she's going to Washington, D.C. And then I go
Got on the
on
Chinatown
Instagram.
bus to get to DC. I already know. Hop straight on the Chinatown bus.
I went, no, this girl, whoever this girl is, she flew her out.
Oh. Oh, wait. You said, wait. You said DC? Yeah.
She lied about going to DC. She lied. There was a lie. It was a lie. Mind you, I think my favorite part is I never asked her where she was going. She said she was going. She's like, I was actually supposed to go out of state for a friend's thing, and I was like, okay, cool. And then she just started making up a lie she didn't need to. But either way, she's like, yeah, I'm going to DC. I go on Instagram to find her in North Carolina, and then she find her in North Carolina. Then so her niece actually lives out there. She was meeting her niece's daughter for the first time. It was a whole thing. Then I wake up the next morning to find her taking pictures with some girl I've never heard of, mentioned before. And I'm like, what? And then she's also, how I knew she was doing something wrong. She would post in the middle of the night. Things that happened during the day would get posted at 3 a.m. And it just so happened I wasn't working. It was summer vacation. So, like, I'm not working, so I'm up. And I'm like, what? And then next thing I know, she's saying she's in a relationship with this girl. Then they get matching tattoos. And I'm like, you've never mentioned this girl to me once. Like, were we dating? No, we were never official. But, like, as friends with benefits, as a friend, in general, you should have said something to me. Then when I called her out, I was like, so it seems as though you lied. And she's like, how? And I'm like, how? How? And that's a constant thing with her. That was another thing. I had to constantly explain lying by omission was still a lie. I had to constantly explain that. But that's why it didn't work. Those little things kept happening.
The word is, you can also use the word deceitful.
Yes.
Yeah,
deceitful. But that's why we didn't work. And I think it's not a Scorpio thing. It was a her thing. It was her.
Oh, no, Scorpios do that. Scorpios will do some shit like that. However, usually when they do it, it's because they have this mind. Scorpios and Aquarius will do this mindset of, I'll get you before you get me. So she probably already thought I don't know, I feel like people are very, you have the same issue I do, where people are very paranoid about you for some reason. And it's like, partially your own fault. Kidding. No, it's not. It's like people are paranoid about you and they don't know how to handle that paranoia. And they don't trust any attempts for you to make them feel validated. So that's why it's like, I think you would be better off dating somebody who is a little bit more on the submissive end. Like if it's a submissive, are the guys you date more try to be more dominant and the girls you date more submissive?
Girls tend to be more submissive. She was very submissive to me.
Flip it. It needs to be the other way around. Guys need to be more submissive. Girls need to be more dominant. Flip it and see how that works.
Interesting. Because I'm actually interested in someone, and it's very funny because she is more dominant than I am.
Oh. Is this a black woman?
She is more dominant. Jewish and Puerto Rican.
It's always the Jewish one!
Jewish and Puerto Rican.
I would say the people who have all, like, the New Yorkers who always give me the most flavor, whether it's sexual or mental, it's always the Italians and the Jewish ones. Not like a fetishization thing or anything. They're always fun. I don't know. Maybe I watched too many sitcoms when I was young. I don't know.
No, you're right. Because I've been friends with her for years. We've been friends for a few years. And my favorite instance with her was a drunk guy hitting on her and her that's acting like he didn't do it. We were in the deli, and he said something about, she got something from the deli. He was asking her if it tastes good. He very clearly meant it in a sexual manner. And she proceeded to keep answering him like it wasn't. Like, I was just like, am I going to have to beat up a drunk for you? Like, what? Like, she's fun. She is insane, but in the best way possible. Has been kicked out of Stonewall. Kicked out of Stonewall.
How old is she?
Same age as me, 26.
Oh, is Stonewall still open? Okay.
Oh, Stonewall's still open. Well, and not in the pandemic. She didn't get kicked out, if that's what you mean.
Oh, okay.
Or you mean, like, is the bar open in general? Yeah, the bar's still open. But she got kicked out for sneaking into coat check. She snuck into coat check and to put her coat somewhere. It was a mess. She got kicked out. She also thought she also got kicked out because she went with her guy friend and she had to pee and she had to pee in the urinal. So he was holding the door closed. And they got in trouble. They thought she was being sexually assaulted. The joke she made was, I'm clearly the dominant.
Oh my god.
She's who I'm currently interested in, so it's just funny you say that. But then you also said, like, I have too much water for a fire sign. She's a Leo. But she also has I can't remember what her rising is. She's a Libra moon. I think it's a Libra moon. It's either a Libra moon or a Libra rising. But I'm also not one to shoot my shot, so the joke I've been making for the past few months is she'll find out when the apocalypse comes around.
Wait, the apocalypse already happened! The apocalypse already happened! What are you talking about? I'm confused. Like Mr. J, the apocalypse already happened. So how are you gonna tell me you're gonna confess your love for me at the apocalypse? Everyone's already dead, Mr. J.
Too late. I was like, I'm not gonna tell her because I'm not gonna sit here and make it weird. She doesn't like me back. So here we are.
Oh yeah. That. Oh, 1 second. So, it's someone said I'm here for messy astrology TikTok. I'm here for it, but
Welcome.
but your Jupiter and your Saturn. So Jupiter is like your planet of forward expansion and good luck, and your Saturn's in Pisces. Well, one, you just got to stop being afraid of the unknown.
Unknown.
And two, your good luck planet being in Scorpio. That means you got to start confronting all these patterns in your life. If you're noticing a pattern in your dating life, you gotta start confronting it. Because, like, obviously you're noticing, okay, there's a pattern, okay. So I was like, okay, then take a flip. See what it's like with the girls that are more dominant and the guys that are more submissive. Like, if he look like he want to get pegged, then peg him. See what happens. I will say that feminine men have been on 2020. The feminine men have been on the rise in terms of beauty standards. Like feminine straight men, feminine gay men, like not like hyper femme, but guys who are just very comfortable with their femininity and their masculinity. Like no shade like the strictly femme gay men, but it's like I'm talking the ones who are so feminine it's almost masculine how feminine they are. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I get you.
Yeah.
It's that lack of fear of playing on a spectrum.
Exactly.
Like I love a man who will I love a man that will paint his nails.
Yes. Like
I'll paint his nails. A man that will wear a skirt outside. Yes. Like that doesn't fear that. Like I do like a man like that.
Yeah. It's like I have a friend named Mitchell and I hate him and I love him to death because he's Puerto Rican, but he's like more on the African leaning side of Puerto Rican where it's like first I'm just like, are you really black? And then I see his hair, I'm just like, see, that hair just says Negro. I cannot ignore this. Like, I can't, like, his hair is like, I think he has type A? Type 4A?
4A? Oh, that's me!
I think he has type 4A. So it's like,
you pulled out a chunk of my hair as I said that.
Like, he's like type 4A, if he's not type 3C, it's enough where he can get dreads and not fuck up his hair. It's enough where
that's this.
Basically. Like, it's enough for when he has his natural hair out, I'm just like, nah, singonya, mama. He looked like a lion. He looked like a whole lion cub,
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, I see the Puerto Rican, but it's the Afro-Puerto Rican. Like,
yeah.
Like, I can't, like, here's your Negro card. The cookout is at 4 o'clock. The cookout is at 4.
Don't show up.
Well, they'll be like, the cookout is at 12 because it actually starts at 4, but you want to see people.
You gotta tell everybody to be there early.
Got a lot of people, So, ay. But, like, the big good luck thing for you is that, like, you have a Scorpio stellium. I just realized.
Huh. Yes, I do. In the 10th house?
9th house.
Right. Wait, which house?
9th house.
10th, right?
9th house.
Oh, 9th. Okay, it kept breaking up. Sorry.
Yeah, 9th house, which is the house of, like, education and exploring, which is fascinating. Huh. Oh, those are the dogs. Okay. Sorry, I just heard some stomping. I was like, what the hell? But it's the dogs. I can see where, how do I say? Like, there's Midas. By the way, Midas is that be careful what you wish for, you just might get it type of sign. So it's like the harder you work to get it, the worse it'll be. So with the Scorpio energy in your life, it's like, hold on, let me see. Midas. It's Midas and Scorpio. That's a feminine sign in the 9th house. It's like you... Oh, let me double check to make sure I have the house right.
I
You wish for you wish for knowledge and wisdom through emotions and spirituality. But the issue is that if the more you chase after this, you're going to sacrifice a lot of security and a lot of humility and a lot of major details as a result. All right, so just be careful with this energy. Be really careful with this energy because and you're gonna sacrifice like the small things. You know, like remember, keep in mind, like there's even though your Venus is very much so like it's weird because your Venus and your Jupiter are in sync, so it's like okay, there's some good luck coming your way love wise, but you have to let you have to let your emotions flow naturally. You can't force it because the harder you try for it, the worse it will get. Does that make sense?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I think King Midas like the golden touch King Midas.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like in your case, what happened with Snooky? What did I just see? I just got a news notification about Snooky, and I'm like, what did Snooky
What
do?
did she do? She has COVID. I know that.
What?
Yeah,
No.
she was talking about it. I follow her on Instagram. She was talking about how weird her Valentine's Day
No.
was and how her kids ran in and threw flowers and chocolate on the floor. And she woke up to them, but she has COVID. She's been stuck in her bedroom.
I'm sad that she left Jersey Shore. I'm like, no, come
I
back.
get why she did it though. Like I respect it.
Oh, why did she say she did it?
I don't know if you watch Family Reunion. The way Angelina's wedding played out was not phenomenal.
Why?
They made this awful, awful bridesmaid speech. Like, you're the puke to my hangover, you're the dump to my Staten Island. Like, it was very much playing on their relationship with her, but a wedding was not the time to do it. Then Angelina got really mad about it. Angelina got really, really angry about it. And it just broke everybody up. And then she was livid with them, and she wouldn't speak to them. And then Snooki at that moment was like, I think this is it. Like, I think I'm done. And then there was there was a subreddit thing that went around. Someone who worked on production in Jersey for Jersey Shore from seasons 1 through 2, and he was talking about all the things that you don't really know. And they were saying how they would have never had them do that speech without production kind of clearing what they said first. So they feel like Angelina knew to some extent that they were going to pull something, especially because like MTV fully paid for her wedding.
Well, who made the
Like
speech?
Jenny, Dina, and Snooki.
Jenny. The speech was made by JWoww? Wait, who's Jenny?
All three of them. JWoww is Jenny. Sorry.
Oh wait, Angelina's I keep forgetting Angelina exists. Whoops.
Because you actually watched it back in the day.
No, I watched the new stuff. I started it and then some ish happened. I forgot and I remember Angelina came back for a small bit. I keep forgetting.
No, not a small bit.
No, she came back permanently because Sammy's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Fully
I
evolved.
see why. Like I see it because I'm like Angelina got on my nerves back in the day. Got in the day, but I remember.
Yeah, she got on everybody's nerves.
You say Angelina, and my
But-
brain went to JWoww for some reason. No, because I watched Vinny and Polly's MTV dating thing. Angelina came on there and fussed all them girls out. And the poor, I will say, I think I do not like. They singled out the black girl. They singled out the black girl to an uncomfortable extent.
They did. That's why I couldn't keep watching it.
But the black girl made it to the end, though. The black girl was the last one
They're
standing.
still together. They're still together.
Polly and her?
They're together. Yes, they're together. And they're still together.
Yes! Get it, girl! Yeah, I was rooting for her. I was over her so...
I was too. She won, but that's why they were so mad at her. It was like, I think sometimes I think that level of racism sometimes is subconscious. Like, that's the argument I always make. I think it's subconscious to a certain level that you are, like, I don't think they understand that they're actually shocked that the black girl made it this far and is getting something that you're fighting for. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because she didn't win. He didn't pick her in the end, so I was hurt. I was real hurt. And
Neither of them picked anybody so they could have the second season. That's all it was.
Wait, I just realized, didn't the black girl win in both guys' games? Because didn't Vinny choose a black girl?
No.
Wasn't the girl that he picked? I thought she was black.
I believe she was white. She could have been Latina. She could have been Latina.
She sure was mixed with something, that's for sure.
Probably. But only Polly picked the black girl, but they basically denied both of them so that they could have a season two. Season two, Polly and Nikki, I think is her name.
Nikki, yeah.
They then rekindled for season two, and now she's on Family Reunion.
Nikki came back for season 2.
Yes, and so did the girl who Vinny picked. The girl who Vinny picked also came
You know
back.
what? Nikki's my new Tiffany. See, Nikki's my new Tiffany. She's my new New York. I love me some Nikki.
Mm-hmm. She came back for season 2, and she came back and she got him. She got him again. She got him again.
Like, I understand why he didn't pick her the first time, because again, it's like, he stuck with her, and eventually all the girls kept saying it wore him down, Mm-hmm. And then he brought her back. I'm like, you know what? It's okay. Just say you want the black girl. We're amazing. I know. My girls are amazing. We know.
We are. We're phenomenal.
Like, black women are phenomenal. Like, let them live. Like, and plus, what is just like, and I said this before, was like, think about it. All them girls had all their relatives come and see them. That black girl was by herself. She was by herself, and she still picked her ass up. Ugh! Black women deserve better. They deserve better. They deserve better. We do. But so that's, speaking of deserving better, when are you going to start confronting your traumas and stop running from them?
Probably tomorrow.
You mean now? You mean now? You mean now?
Now.
I heard now. Yeah, okay. Just now. Making sure I heard now. All right. Just now. Okay, I heard. Just make sure I heard right now in this moment.
Right now, this very moment.
Exactly. All right, and that brings me to, because your Uranus and your Neptune, this is your place in society and how you're going to change the world. They're both in Capricorn, and they're both in your 12th house actually. And where are you spiritually?
What do you mean?
Spiritually.
See, do you mean specific spirituality? Do you mean religion?
Both.
Or like, my relationship with God, it exists, it's there. It's there. He's not who I choose to talk to. I practice what I like to call diet Sangria. If that's what I call it. Because I don't like to say
diet Sangria.
I don't have the right to say that, but what I will say is this: I'm a rainbow baby. My mom had 3 miscarriages before she had me. Right before me, my aunt, God rest her soul, her best friend is Cuban. She told my mom to start praying to Caridad del Cobre.
To who?
Caridad del Cobre.
The Cobra?
She saved fishermen. I believe the story is that she saved fishermen.
Wait, hold on. What's the name of that image?
Caridad, where is it? Caridad del Cobre.
Hold on.
She's the Santuria's version of Oshun, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I was I'm like, isn't that Oshun? I was about to say.
If you go to Cuba today, it's the same thing.
Yeah. I saw the gold.
She told my mother to start praying to her, light yellow candles, things like that, and lo and behold, it worked. I'm alive. So we've just continued the practice of thanking her throughout my life. Her picture's always been somewhere. It has to be near, my mom said it has to be near water. If she's not near water, my mom said she gets weird dreams. She's not near water.
No, and that makes sense actually, because your mom, because Oshun is like Venus, all right, and Venus rules over Taurus and Libra. I don't know if you're a child of Oshun though. You might be a child of Yemaya or Yemoja.
I get that a lot.
Because there's so much water in your chart.
It's something I get a lot. I looked up Child of Oshun and Child of Yemoja. I looked them both up at a time because I don't know if you know about Netflix's She's Gotta Have It. She called her a Child of Oshun, and I was just like, and then they made the movie She's Gotta Have It into a series. And one of her friend's mothers in Puerto Rico, she told her, she's like, you're not living in your truth. You're a child of Oshun, and you need to start acting like it. It's basically what she said to her. So I looked it up, like, what is the deeper meaning of that? And it's funny because that's what I ran into, the idea that I might be a child of Yamaya instead of being a child of Oshun.
Yeah, because it's interesting because when I look at, I have guessed people's crown Orisha through astrology. The first one, I'm saying, I swear you are a child of Olokun. It's bugging me. I like your child. Like it's and he went and got read, and he's gonna get crowned. He's either gonna get crowned in Olokun through Yemaya or Oshun, one of the two. Because like it's technically like crowned in Oshun or Yemaya, but child of Olokun. It was really irking me. I'm like, I swear to God, you are a child.
It's here.
You said what? Mm-hmm.
It's here. No, I'm saying you felt it. You just felt it. Like,
yeah, it was bugging me because he had a Taurus rising and a Libra moon, and I'm like, see, it's irking me. Like it might be through Oshun, but it's really bugging me. You a child of some kind of water deity, but with you, like with the rising and the moon side, and then your Saturn being in Pisces, that's like. Because Virgo, when I think Virgo energy, I think the maiden. I'm like, okay, because but Oshun and Yemaya are both tied into the Virgin Mary. So I'm just like, But in your case, it might even not. You have enough Scorpios. Like, could it be? Hold on. Is your mom a child of Oshun?
No, so that's the thing. She was just told to pray to her and ask her for my health and well-being, and I'm alive now. So we just thank her and do what we can to thank her. So behind you, I should need to get a new yellow candle, but behind you, I have a yellow candle lit. She's in front of the yellow candle. I have sunflower seed oil on one side of her and honey on the other side of her. So I just keep her happy. I thank her, and every time I've asked her for something, she's come through.
Mm-hmm. Is your family Nigerian?
No, we are Haitian.
Let me rephrase the question. What part of Africa does your family come from?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, if you're Haitian, you're technically doing the wrong spirit. Right, not wrong spirit. You're in the right zone. Right zone, wrong name.
Yeah, no, I know. We have a really odd history with voodoo in the way our family chose to practice it. So my mother stepped away, therefore the way she raised me was stepped away.
Is voodoo something that comes from
You gotta talk to my mom, not me.
No, because there's a thing. No, I'm saying like Shango's in voodoo. Ogun is in voodoo. Like there's some name differences.
The more research I've done, the more I've learned that. But that's just how she's chosen to be. And this is where we are now. This is where we are.
So here's the thing. You should listen to that song when you're ever in a mood.
Wait. It popped up for like a hot second and then it went away.
It's in the chat.
I've never used Google Meets. Give me 1 second. I'm going to figure this out. How do I get to the chat? I'm going to figure it out. Nope, that wasn't it.
Hold on. I can do screen share really quick. Hold on. But if you click, it's on the top right corner.
Top right corner. God, I think I got it. Did I?
Yeah, but I'll just screen share for you so you can just save that link. This is technically, like, if you're Haitian, I'm like, oh, so the closest thing you would have to Oshun is this energy right here. Hold on, let me get it for you.
I'm going to take a picture of this. Okay.
Is it playing? Yeah, that's Urzuli. Urzuli is like the Oshun equivalent for Haiti, and she's actually Urzuli Frida. That's the Haitian equivalent for Oshun.
Okay.
Yeah, her colors are more pink, I will say, but it's just like
That is stop. That's my favorite color.
No, that's Urzuli's main colors is pink.
Yeah, that is my favorite color, so that makes a lot of sense.
Maybe you might be a child of Urzuli Danto, just say. Because my parents is Baron and Bridget, but like with Gide Nibo and Gide Zadien on my shoulders, but like if question, do you know the Voodoo Diva? You should follow her. She's my teacher.
Where? What form of social media?
YouTube.
YouTube? Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, the Voodoo Diva, you said?
Yes.
I will definitely.
And she's from, where is she from? I think she's in New Kent.
Okay.
I think that's in Brooklyn. I think.
I don't know all the parts of Brooklyn.
I don't. I went to see her last September, and that's where she gave me my head spirits. So you live near her, and she's also got a bun in the oven, so she may not respond right away because she busy. She got some baby growing to do, but she has been possessed by Urzuli Frida before because they come in possession and everything. Yeah, and she also works. I know she's also one of her patrons is La Serene. La Serene would technically be like the Yemaya equivalent.
Yes. Okay, that one I remember. I remember that name.
Yeah. La Serene, aka Mami Wata, and all that.
Yes. I remember that name. I haven't been involved with voodoo since I was a child.
What do you mean? What do you mean? You have an Oshun candle. It's the same thing.
You're right, but in the names, with their Haitian names, with their Haitian names, I just haven't. My mom is also open to most religions. Like she's very much a studier of all things.
I'll just like any image of the Virgin Mary with baby Jesus. I'm like Urzuli. So it's like if pink is
that makes sense because all of these things connect, which is why I started following you. Funny enough.
Yeah, the reason you don't see me talking about the Loa as much is because I don't trust these motherfuckers.
You should not.
I don't trust these kids with that information.
Not.
I will pop up and be like, oh yeah, so on this TV show, that's this spirit, but I'm not going to go into any further detail than that. No.
No, that's the problem. A lot of the witch talk is not witch. Let me not even call it witch talk. Baby little white kids who want to be into witchcraft. It's a problem.
I wasn't going to say that, but okay.
I said it so you don't have to.
You're not wrong. You were not wrong there. Because it's.
But that's the problem. They'll do anything that they see. Like the honey one, I think was the worst one. Yeah. I think that was the worst one that I saw particularly on TikTok because I have a friend who's Cuban and she did the honey trick for her ex-fiance, who turned out to be crazy.
Do you know where that comes from?
No.
Ogun ran into the forest, and Oshun dipped her fingers in her honey pot and smeared it on his lips to seduce him back out.
Oh, got it. Okay. She did the honey thing. She did.
And here's the thing. Honey pot is a metaphor for something.
Yeah. Yeah. Didn't know that till now, but now I do. But she did that, and getting her away from her. Like, getting her ex-fiance away from her was, a whole thing. Her ex-fiance still has not fully separated from her. It still has not fully separated from her. It's bad. It's bad. And, this is what people aren't telling them. They're just doing stuff. And it's just all right, yeah, you got the person stuck to you, but now what happens when you don't want them anymore? What happens when you don't want them anymore? It's also the putting someone in your shoe. That was the other one, putting someone in your shoe. Okay, well, then you get to somebody like me who's heavily protected. Don't be mad for whatever happens to you.
Yeah. But I think I don't know where. There's an overwhelming amount of water in this chart.
I know. It's my favorite thing about me. Where it's
no, it's just water. It's just water. That's why I'm just like,
Asking
is
my
it
sun sign
Oshun?
and it's telling you nothing. I think that's my favorite part about my chart. Like asking my sun sign, I've told you absolutely nothing about me.
No, no. Like I for you, it's like it's underdeveloped. So it's like if you are a child of Oshun, it may be through Oba or Yewa.
Mm.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yeah. It may be that because they both like to sabotage relationships to keep their children safe. Because they don't trust people. They don't.
That would make sense.
Yeah, but at the same time, like I can't because Haitian voodoo is a lot more locked and closed, which is not necessarily a bad thing. But
Mm-hmm.
like if you're because if you're Haitian, I was like, if you're Haitian, then just like if your favorite thing is pink, then see what Ursuli Dantor's been saying, love.
Mm.
Because like it's all pink, like pinkety pink, pink, pink. Also, like, because
Mm-hmm.
there's also the Voodoo Diva. There's also Mambo Sisi, who is Haitian. I mean, Voodoo. I don't ask these questions, but like Mambo Sisi, I discovered Mambo Sisi because she posts ceremonies that she goes to where they're venerating
Mm-hmm.
Urzuli Frida. It'll be the same image. It'll be a black lady. And people all in pink. So it's just like you should give Urzuli a knock. See what happens. Like what came to mind when you heard the song?
It was just beautiful, honestly. It was just beautiful. There was nothing beyond it than that. I was like, kind of enthralled more than I was thinking, if that makes sense.
Yeah, like I like Urzuli. I was like Urzuli, but like there's Urzuli Frida. There's Urzuli Dantor. Do you know Urzuli Dantor?
Mm-mm.
How are you Haitian? Give me the Haitian card. Give it here. Give it
I
here.
will gladly.
Urzuli's do Bois Caiman?
That sounds familiar.
Haitian beginning of the Haitian Revolution, the ceremony they did.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, that's the Loa they venerated.
Mm.
Yeah, she's the
Okay.
one like she's the patron of Haiti, Urzuli Dantor.
I told you, everyone says it. Haitian people always tell me I'm fake Haitian. I'm just like, I will gladly take
I
that.
mean,
The only
hey.
person
I understand. Like, I did my DNA test, and it's like, it says Nigeria, it says Isan, it said Ghana, it said everything. It skipped over Benin. I was like, oh, so I ain't got nobody in Benin. Okay, that's new. That's news to me. you know. But, oh, excuse me. In your case, I will say, hey, la 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 la. I would say more so voodoo. Voodoo is more. I would say voodoo's relation, like Haitian voodoo. I could see you say like if you. I would say how do English is hard. English is
is
fucking
terribly
hard.
hard.
Like if you Haitian voodoo, the relationship my family has with us because my dad's family's from Louisiana, so
Mm-hmm.
naturally it's gonna pop up there. But you have access to a lot more priests than I do. So I don't know why you was. I'm like, you have access to much more than me.
I never had the. How do I explain this? Because it was never. It was never really brought to me in that manner. I just never had the urge to look into
You know
it.
the little corner store delis?
Mm-hmm.
Go in there, the little candles they have.
Good point.
How do I know that? Because I was walking around Brooklyn, and every single corner store they had, I'm like, these candles are everywhere. What the hell?
That's the candles, yeah. But it's funny because I've been burning next to my yellow candle. I've been burning a pink candle. It's usually a love drawing candle, but I've been burning a pink candle, and things have actually been going well when I have those two things burning. So
Because Urzuli Frida serves the same purpose in Haitian voodoo that Oshun does in Santeria and Ifa. So it's just like, obviously there's a few things that are slightly different with the Urzulis versus the Oshun, but like, you get the gist,
yeah.
I'll
But
say,
that's what I mean when I say diet. That's what
yeah,
I mean
I
when
will
say
say,
diet.
one thing I will say, be a little bit mindful because like at the end of Santeria it's a Latino thing. So there's a difference between the Orisha when they're presented by an African priest, an African Babalawo, versus a Hispanic one. Because if, for example, Olokun is venerated a lot more over here versus over in Nigeria. Like yes, Olokun's mentioned, but they go a little bit. How do I say? Yemoja has a bit of a stronger presence in Nigeria than she does in Santeria over here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I've noticed that. I was just like, I don't know how I feel about that. Like everyone's like, oh, cool. I'm like, I could have sworn the Africans are harder with like also with Yamaya. I'm very lost, but I digress. If you need access to a temple, there's a temple I follow called Temple of Niyame. They work with the Ashanti, Abosom, and with the Orisha. So, so you have access.
Thank you.
Yeah. Temple of Niyame. Now, I will say this. Your asteroids, so your Nest, that's in Scorpio, and your Dionera is... Okay. So your Nessus is in Scorpio, your Dionera is in Capricorn. So Nessus is abuse. Dionera is the victim. Where I'm a little bit iffy with this, because I'm like, okay, there's all these Scorpio places, but I don't necessarily know if this is... My brain shut off. Anyway, so all
it's
these,
okay, it happens.
Because I was like, maybe I'm gonna wonder who your father spirit is. Maybe it's Obatala. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
If it's helpful in any way, my dad's a Capricorn.
Your 12th house is in Capricorn, which is your spirituality house. Huh. Wait, is your dad Haitian too?
No, my dad's Guyanese.
Like black people Guyanese or like Indian Guyanese?
Both. It's the weirdest.
Motherfucker.
We don't ask. We don't ask. We just know they met.
Okay.
We leave it. My grandma is Indian Guyanese. My father is black Guyanese. They don't normally like each other. They do. We just y'all do you.
Okay, let me see. What deacons is this?
Then my mother is Haitian and Egyptian.
Yeah, I think you should definitely start venerating Urzuli a bit more. You're not disrespecting Oshun because they're both singing it with the Virgin Mary.
Yeah.
Like you're not disrespecting Oshun. Like I think like if you did both, and that'd be fine as well. But like
okay.
But like I'm one of those people where it's just like because like in every religion there's every part of there's that equivalent. So I'm just like Urzuli, Oshun, same shit, different shit.
Again, why I follow you.
Now, I will say this. A priest will tell you that they're two different things. They're not wrong. The energies you get from them are different. All right, the energy you get from them are spirit, but they serve the same purpose. That's why I'm just like, same shit, different shape.
In most religions, that's the case, though, and that again, what drew me to you, you knowing that is something that most people don't understand that argument. Because it's the argument I always make about hijabs. Like there's head covering in every form of religion. There's a lot of places where things touch. And we all people like to act stupid about it, but things touch. Because
I always get weird because some people be like, Urzuli and Oshun are different. I'm just like, then why is Ogun the same in all these religions? Ogun's in Santeria, he's in Haitian voodoo, he's in African voodoo. Ogun's everywhere. Why is he the same person? Why is Ogun there? But with your DNA, I think half of your issue is you work too much. Like, you project a lot of your emotions into work, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but it makes you unnecessarily cold, and people may be missing your emotion. Because for example, if you leave all your emotions at work, then the people in your personal life aren't going to see that.
Okay. I do a lot of working, but that's true.
And plus, you work with kids, so I understand. But remember, this is a mistake that my parents made. My parents forgot that they were raising a child because they teach military people, So they left all the emotions that should have been left for raise me was left at work.
Got it. So when they got home, they had enough of doing the whole raising a child thing.
Yeah, that's why they're so negative. That's why I don't get along with my parents. All right. So in your case, think of the same with relationships. At some point, like you have to, if you want to date seriously, you have to treat your partners like they're your partners, not just fuck buddies.
I needed to hear that. Yeah. I needed to hear that.
Yeah. Now, in the abuse, and also learn to let go of control a little bit, just a little bit, because you're controlling. You got a Virgo moon, child. I know. Also, look in the mirror and say, I will stop picking my body apart. I look fine.
Oh, that I needed to hear too. Okay. I've gained weight and I'm not happy about it.
It's the COVID weight, child. Don't even worry about it.
No, I stopped dancing as frequently as I used to when I was
No, same. I'm a cardio dance instructor. Trust me, I get it. I teach K-pop.
We were meant to meet each other.
Exactly!
This is meant to happen.
No, like I was. Trust me, I was so upset when COVID shut everything down because that was the only reason I went to the gym. The one reason I went to the gym is now gone.
Yeah. what made me angry was I finally had the time.
Exactly.
But everything shut down. Had the time.
Exactly. And I will say that logic you use, it's helpful. Like when you get really grounded, it is very helpful, but not so much when you're trying to do certain things like develop a relationship. All right, that's what you got to be mindful of. All right, because your phallus is in Virgo, phallus is in Virgo, and this is in because your phallus is decisions you can't come back from, and it's in the seventh house, the house of relationships. When you make decisions that are centered around stuff like that, when you feel like you have a full understanding of a person, all right, you're most likely going to make a Chiron type of decision. Chiron is the wounded healer, all right, which means people pleasing, doing everything because it's the empathetic side of you, all right. But then your Medusa is healing energy that only works for you, nobody else. Your Medusa is in Capricorn. All right, wait, is it in Capricorn? No, it's in Gemini, my bad. It's in Gemini. So for you, it's talking things out, using your words, communicating. All right? The one like using your, because for some people, she's like, just say it. Just say it, goddammit. The fact when you can use your words in a way that some people don't have the balls to do, like, it takes all the responsibility off you because you took the time to communicate that. All right? Now your palace is in. No, your
That's too funny.
What?
I'm sorry. My friend Allison, who I mentioned before, just messaged me. She just texted me. It's just fun. That was just a funny timing thing. We were talking about. I sent her something about JYP, and she was like, and I got an essay.
JYP. About what? She doesn't like JYP?
No. It was about What is it? JYP bringing kids to R. Kelly.
I highly doubt that. Highly doubt.
Like a subreddit, and she's swearing it was low key a big deal when he first started trying to push Wonder Girls into the U.S. market, and then JYP basically went bankrupt until GOT7 debuted and brought them back, and then JYP just treated them like shit. That's why they're the sole reason.
No. Her white girl chart card just showed. No. Absolutely not. I've been in K-pop since 2007, all right? JYP was, the thing is like, JYP, how do I say? He does this cycle, where it's like every 3 years he puts out a new group, all right? When you have a bunch of, JJ Project came out in 2012, GOT7 came out in 2004. It was time for him to release a new boy group, all right? Miss A was doing fine. Wonder Girls was on hiatus, I guess. Miss A was also leaning towards like almost disbanding at that point because they were fighting Susie, that whole bit, whatever. It was time to release a new group. Plus 2PM brings it, like, how do I say? 2PM is his main money maker because every time he puts out something with 2PM, it's like whew, it flourishes. Okay. GOT7 was doing very, very well. Not to take that away from GOT7 is definitely doing well, but the issue is that the issue with GOT7 is more so the company didn't get paid as it was like a 70-30 split for the international promotions. All right, so the company didn't make as much money promoting them overseas, even though they're really popular overseas. They didn't make as much money, so they couldn't really afford to promote GOT7 because GOT7 made more money. My one critique of GOT7 is that like GOT7 should have taken more responsibility to promote themselves. Not that they weren't. It's more so like at some point in time, you can only blame the company for so many things. Like, what were you doing at that point?
Gotcha. Okay.
That's my one critique of GOT7. Like if you're making more money than the company is, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Not saying it's their fault. That's just the question. It's like, because in the U.S., the artists they're obliged to promote themselves, The company is only really there for album distribution. And JYP did really good with merchandise distribution and album distribution. So the question is, okay, what was GOT7 doing in this time?
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, because I know JYP made a killing off of GOT7 merch. Like they were like GOT7's merch was. There was a point in time where all I saw was Bam Bam and Yogyum and JB Letterman letter jackets, and I'm just like I see all this merch, but I don't see the boys. What the hell? Like I saw more items of GOT7 than I actually saw GOT7.
But you actually saw GOT7. Got it. Okay.
Yeah. I will say there was a point in time where they were in the U.S. a lot. There was a point in time, and then BTS ruined everything, because BTS is fucking annoying. I can't stand them anymore. Ugh.
understandable. They're all over the place.
Like, I love BTS when they first came out, and they debuted it, and then after I Need You, I was like, please die. Not literally die, but please go away. I would never wish death on BTS, but it's just like,
Wait,
please
after
go.
which one? Wait, after which one?
After I Need You.
Gotcha. Okay.
When they got to Run, I was done. Like when they released Wings, I was like, wait, hold on. You might have me.
Is that Blood, Sweat, Tears?
No, Wings is what is Wings? What is Wings? Hold on. I forgot. I know Wings because V has that solo song on there. So cry. Yep, Wings is Blood, Sweat, and Tears. I lied. Wings is Blood, Sweat, and Tears.
I know, I know by songs.
Yeah. V's song, is it called Stigma? V has a song called Stigma. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. But I digress. So you're Lilith. Now, your Lilith is in Taurus.
Yes, right? That I know.
So this
I don't know what it means.
When you are not allowed to be financially prosperous. All right, when you are not allowed to show the fruits of your labor, when you're not allowed to really relish in your hard work and relish in reap what you sow, basically, it will come out toxic.
Can you elaborate a little bit?
Because
I want to
think of it like Wicked, and Maleficent. People, they're good people, but they got picked at, they just snapped. So, so if you keep if you keep invalidating the fruits of your labor and invalidating your achievements, and it keeps getting invalidated, you'll eventually, it's going to go bad.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. Because your North Node is in Scorpio, which is the sign you have to look up to the most to become a better person. And, Also, can I just say, your Fortuna, your asteroid Fortuna, that's in Cancer. So I can see where the Oshun Yamaya energy is kind of coming through there. Your Vert, but I think for you, the sign you have to look up to for the most, think intensity. All right, think intensity, think passion, really letting that Scorpio energy of yours flourish, letting your emotions show, being more expressive, challenging all of your traumas. All right, not tolerating bullshit, but still being not tolerating bullshit, but still being vulnerable.
Got it. Okay.
All right. Because there's your vertex. Your vertex is the energy you have to channel when there are events that are happening outside of your control. And that is in Virgo. And vertex in Virgo, that is... Hold on, let me bring up my notes. Because there's no mythology behind vertex, so it's harder for me to remember what it actually means. But I know it's the energy you channel when there are events that happen outside of your control. Your vertex is in Virgo. Vertex and Virgo, I'll be reading my notes. This placement indicates obsessions and autism. In this time, you will be forced to bring chaotic situations into a practical, useful order. This position is not easy because there are strong desires to destroy the old order and replace it with a different concept or philosophy. But there's a strong tendency for internal refolding, which is paradoxical and frustrating. In relationships, there's a fantasy of joining with someone who has unique psychic powers, and the focus is on the practical work. This will make everything all right. But this vertex expects for you to use your practical insights, your ability to discover your own mistakes, provide a service, compile material for practical use, supply work details, develop your discriminating facilities, become a useful member of humanity, and develop conscientious habits and the ability to accept criticism. If you do these things, you will become useful in the world and balance the tendency to worry about your own health issues, and you will develop your own self-worth, and you will stop worrying about other people's opinions, and you will be able to function at your most effective level, and you will become aware that your life has meaning. If you don't accomplish these things, you will bring forth a feeling of inner conflict, and you will make yourself nearly invisible, and you will create a disorder in your life, and above all, you will create a feeling of uselessness. Remember, the vertex is a sign of karma that needs activation to bring out its power. Any questions? That's your whole chart.
I don't think so. I think I'm good.
How do you feel?
Good, actually.
How good?
Why do I feel good?
Yes.
Or a lot of this is things I already knew. So it's re-solidifying things. Like I knew I had to. I know there's traumas I need to deal with. I know there's a lot. I do a lot of questioning, and I like looking at myself as a failure, things like that. There's a lot. You reinforced a lot of things I feel like I knew were already there. I just needed to double check. I guess is the right way to say it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
need to double check, but yeah, it feels good to know I'm kind of not necessarily not on the right path. Like I know there's a lot of things I need to confront and deal with. Like letting go of control is what I know I need. I hate the unknown. I don't like it. It's
Into
gross.
the unknown. Or then that whole shit.
Like it's gross. I don't like it. I know I need to be more. I don't know if vulnerable is the right word with emotions, but I do need to deal with them more than I actually do. So yeah, I know all of those things. So I feel really good knowing that my instincts were correct.
That's good. Alrighty. Well, if you think of any questions later down the road that are just like, CD, I don't know, just shoot me an email or message me on TikTok. Also, I have transit readings available, so if you're just like, CD, is there something happening in the sky right now? You can be like, boop, I'll read you. You know?
Okay,
Alrighty. But you be safe and don't catch the Rona, okay, friend?
I will not.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
I love reading black people. All right, everyone, that was fun. Who's watching? Into the unknown. All right, but hey, everyone, I'm gonna head out because I gotta get ready for work, other work. But like, thanks for watching.